Let's see here. Make sure the volume is down enough. Or high enough, I guess. Okay. Great. What is up, everyone? Hopefully you're having a good, what is it, Thursday afternoon? Yes. In California right now, it is raining and freezing. So, staying warm, and this is the best way to kill time. What's up, boys? Franco Recco, my main man, M64 Bros, Sagma. What's up, guys? David Ramirez. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe, of course, and possibly playing this if you decided to partake in the Avengers quote-unquote hype today. Gamer 3000 family, Terry and Aaron, Fat Dog 257. What's up, guys? I'm doing good. How about you? Jerron Williams, what's up? I've been playing Hawkeye DLC right now. Awesome. Good to hear. And, by the way, it came out on next gen. So, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Me? No. I'm still playing it on my PlayStation 4. Still have a PlayStation 4 Pro, my Spider-Man themed one, which I'm very proud of, and it looks gorgeous still. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you probably already know the news. You sounded tired? Yes. I've been up a while recently working on some stuff, so if I sound exhausted, it's because I am. But I want to do this for you guys and for me, because I do want to review it / analyze this content and the news, because it is very important. But what I was going to say is that if you do follow me on Twitter, one of the reasons why I sound exhausted is because I'm mentally drained due to the fact that I almost got scammed buying a PlayStation 5. Apparently there is, and the guys in the Spidey Squad know this, there is apparently the PlayStation official website where you can buy consoles and games from PlayStation digitally through their official site. And also, there's apparently the Sony PlayStation Direct website, which is a scam website, which looks almost identical to the real one, except it's not. And I almost got scammed out of $500 to purchase a supposed bundle, which I thought was on the official PlayStation Direct website. I thought there was a mistake. Maybe I could get it for a lower price. Maybe this is like one of those rare occasions when they're now in stock with new ones. But apparently PlayStation Direct doesn't sell bundles at all. They just sell the individual games or consoles. And I almost got scammed. Luckily, I got my money back, or the money didn't transfer at all in the first place, so I still have my money. Didn't get any console, but I almost got scammed, and I'm very upset about it. But with that said, it's still fine because I still have my amazing PlayStation 4 Pro to play Spider-Man PS4 on with our boy John Bubniak, of course, and these other games I'm currently playing through. I have Persona 5 Royal, Persona 5 Strikers, Genshin Impact, Avengers, if it's good enough, which I don't think so, but we'll see. William Guzman, Evan, go on the Walmart website. They have PlayStation 5s in stock every 10 minutes. I've tried, thank you, dude, but I've tried that, and also just in general Walmart, PlayStation Direct, GameStop, and they have their own bundles and stuff. Ethan, my man, Ethan Castillo, what's up, dude? Please go follow Ethan, everyone, if you haven't already. He's the best, makes amazing art, and has also posted, I think I saw on your Twitter feed, your own reactions to today's Square Enix Presents presentation, which we are going to discuss today. Marvel's reporter, hey Evan, what's your advice for how to start a successful YouTube channel? That's very kind of you to ask that question, assuming that if I'm even close to being a successful YouTube channel, I wouldn't consider myself that as much, but it's because of you guys that I'm able to actually do this channel in the first place, so thank you very much. Just to make sure, before I answer Marvel Reporter's question, I want to make sure that the live stream is live. You are able to hear me, I believe, through my mic. It's not muted. Thank God. I know I've done that several times in the past. I tweet out the live stream, and it is, in fact, live on YouTube, which is the best place to actually watch videos on, at least from my channel. And, great. Mystical, thanks for liking my Tanas Season 2 tweets. Of course, dude. They're fantastic. Which, by the way, everyone go follow Mystical, and I think it's at Tanas Season 2 on Twitter, because there is a fan-made Season 2 of the new animated series Spider-Man cartoon that's being made by amazing fans, like Mystical and the team working on it, which is great because we currently obviously don't want the Disney XD Marvel Spider-Man show. We've already had enough of that. No, Spectacular Spider-Man is not getting a Season 3, no matter how sad it is that that's not happening. But I guess in the also animated realm, we are waiting for Into the Spider-Verse 2, so that counts as sort of an animated Spider-Man thing, but not necessarily for the shows of Spider-Man or cartoons. So fans making fans happy is what I love to see on here. Let's see. Katie Plays, is he out? I think you mean Hawkeye. Yes, he is. But to answer Marvel Reporter's question about being a successful YouTube channel, just keep being consistent. And of course, there are a lot of channels who either like to do a plethora of content, so like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, politics, financial reports, which I'm actually a fan of, which you might have seen me do on the channel with Spider-Man when it comes to like the sales updates for PlayStation or Spider-Man, because that relates to the future of the franchise. I love talking about marketing and analytical statistics about sales and how well a game is doing in terms of fan reception, publicly or critically, just like Marvel's Avengers is not doing right now. And keep being open about the content that you love and share that passion with people with your platform. Like me, I love Spider-Man, I love Persona, I love games, I love games more than movies, which is why you don't necessarily hear me or see me make videos about like the MCU. Or today, by the way, March 18th is Zack Snyder's day for the Justice League Snyder Cut, and also I think it's either today or tomorrow the Falcon and Winter Soldier Disney Plus show. So that's also out, and then of course also Marvel's Avengers Hawkeye DLC, which is free for the game, you know, in the gaming realm. So also, like, the big thing today is the Snyder Cut, which I recorded my reaction, by the way, to the Square Enix Presents showcase, thinking that I could give my analytical statements about what I thought beforehand and then what I think now, given the stuff they showed. And really, it was just me ranting for like 15 minutes. So it's like, okay, I probably shouldn't put this up because I know I'm going to get flamed on Twitter. So instead, let me do a live stream playing the new DLC, discussing the news that happened earlier today, and giving my thoughts about it, where I think we see Marvel's Avengers going in the future, and why I think it's not good. Currently, yes, Black Panther, to sum it up quickly, Black Panther finally revealed. He was leaked way back with concept art, but he was also officially revealed by Square Enix themselves. You know, we got his little, small snippet teaser trailer, which he was supposed to come out in December because Kate Bishop was supposed to come out in October, Hawkeye was supposed to come out in November, and then Black Panther was supposed to be in December. We knew about Black Panther supposed to be in the game because they teased him back when they showed Hawkeye, because sadly it was due to Chadwick Boseman's passing, they did not include Black Panther in the game. And I respect them for doing that, because that's a great way to, you know, honor Chadwick's legacy, and kind of overshadowing that with their version of him, of Black Panther, would be kind of harsh and not as timely. So it's fine that they, you know, distance themselves from that. I respect them for that. But the fact of the matter is now they delayed their entire schedule of characters for the game. And we already knew officially from them that Black Panther was coming as a character and as a region with Wakanda. So seeing him be unveiled today for the trailer and having, officially see his model in action, and then of course it was leaked that his voice actor is none other than Christopher Judge, aka Kratos, from the God of War game, the new one on PlayStation 4. Game of the Year 2018 got robbed. Spider-Man PS4 sadly didn't stand a chance, but that's okay. But we knew all this, is what I'm saying. We knew everything relating to all the content that they discussed today. And even worse is that today Hawkeye comes out. He's free. Download him right now. You can play his new chapter for the story. But they took like 5-7 minutes worth of their presentation for Marvel's Avengers. Their big look to the sky. Cool content coming, right guys? For this Hawkeye stuff, which is already coming out today. So it's like if I were to see Endgame in theaters, Avengers Endgame. I'm sitting in the theater about to watch Endgame, and instead of seeing the movie itself, I see a 5-minute trailer of the movie before I see the movie. That's exactly what they did. Why waste time with displaying stuff we already are going to dive into after you showcase this which is pretty much spoiling the content, by the way, and instead not focus on what's to come. What people want to see is the future of your game, how you're planning to expand it, who you're planning to add in it, and how much more consistent you're going to be with the community. Transparency and direct communication amongst fans and consumers is what they needed to do. What's up, guys? Keeks and Naj Airy. This game wasn't bad, but I feel like it would have been better with no online. Online ruined this game. I think it would have been fine if it was online. It's just that the fact that it's structured as, exactly, Jason Fagan just said it, wish this wasn't a live service. That's the problem. Is that so far, even though they claim that they are, this game is not live service. This game is a single-player game meshed with a co-op, lots of co-op elements, that's trying to add content on a consistent basis, just like live service games are known to do. The problem with that is that they are not focusing on the live service elements enough to keep players engaged. I brought this up in my video, which I did not post and will not post because it's kind of like just ranting for so long. But I'm also currently playing Genshin Impact, which is a great free-to-play live service game. And literally today, I think even yesterday, they included a huge expansion. Pretty much have like character interactions with the cast of the game, like bonding with your teammates, a whole new event, a festival in the city of Mondstadt, which is like one of the hub worlds you get to explore, new weapons, new characters, new story chapters, new side quests, and all for free. And it's incredible. And I love playing the game, and I wish I was in fact playing that instead of this right now. But this just added Hawkeye, the custom harm, which you've been seeing on screen this whole time, new features, Hawkeye, and the harm room, which is just the training room that no one uses, for the content that they're planning to add for this massive expansion for Hawkeye that we've been waiting for since launch. And we've been waiting for over half a year since September of 2020 until now. And I don't think it's doing enough justice for the game's benefit or the developers' progression to make more content for anyone to enjoy. Chris Martinez, it breaks my heart that this should have been a role-playing game, but no, they made it live service because money. Exactly. And I know for a fact, if we're to post blame on anyone, because it's like the developers are saying, oh, we're trying, and granted, yes, they are currently working from home. There's a lot of struggles to make a game from home versus making it in the studio. Of course, we already know that Spider-Man 2 is having production problems since they're not able to make the motion capture in person yet for the sequel because of COVID. And yes, that also is the case for Avengers, but the fact is that they are doing themselves a disservice by labeling this and making this a live service game. And you know for a fact that the people behind that choice is not Marvel, it's not Crystal, it's not Eidos, and it's certainly not PlayStation, who made their, deal with them to include Spider-Man. It's Square Enix. It's the publisher, Square Enix, making this decision because, again, they're behind this multi-year, multi-game partnership with Marvel to make more Marvel games besides Avengers. And the only reason why they made it like this is so that they thought that they could milk it for the most amount of money possible, when instead it blew up in their face. And it's not doing anyone any favors. And yes, Jason, exactly. They made too many promises before the game's release. Exactly. And that's why the roadmap that was revealed today, besides Black Panther, is just as bad. But we will dive in shortly. We're just waiting for more people to join in. We're going to get started soon, guys. Don't worry. And I have it on my phone right here, is the roadmap that Marvel's Avengers put out on their Twitter page after, which they didn't even describe or go into detail during the presentation, the Square Enix presentation. They just showed it briefly, showed some clips about individual aspects of it, showed the beginning of the Hawkeye, DLC chapter, which they already streamed yesterday on the Marvel channel, and which makes no sense, by the way, if they're going to show it here again. And they have the roadmap, which the new content, which today Hawkeye comes out, the future Imperfect operation, and the next-gen upgrade. So if you want to get on PlayStation 5 or Series X, you can. You can also get it for a free upgrade to switch from the current gen to next gen, which is cool. Spring, and I'm reading this on my phone where they have the whole roadmap shown here. So you can look it up on their Twitter page too if you haven't seen it already. I won't do a video on this because we're going to be talking about it here in the stream. Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, Matthew Hallfit Simmons? Hope you're doing well. Aaron Yeager, only one hero this year besides Spider-Man that's not good at all, and Spider-Man is only a PlayStation exclusive, so a lot of people are going to be pissed. I think I can say I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time, because it's certainly going to suck for the Xbox and PC and Stadia and Steam users and all that who don't have a PlayStation to play Spider-Man, but at the same time, if he's good, then the PlayStation user base are going to be fine playing him and not feel any remorse, you know? But if he sucks, because just like Kate Bishop's thing and Hawkeye's thing, they're going to have new movesets and a new story chapter, but it's not really doing anything to benefit the overall lifespan of the game to expand its content creation for consumers. Meaning like, oh, I want to go and rank up my characters. I want to go and do a raid with my friends. I want to go and play co-op with my buds in this new harm room mode, or I want to go and do the new Wakanda expansion with Black Panther. And of course you do have the benefit which Franco Greco just brought up. What's up, Big Cloud Gaming? Everyone please go support Big Cloud Gaming right now. I saw that on Twitter he is recuperating from, I think, a procedure, or I think it was COVID or something. I forget right now, but my bud Big Cloud Gaming does amazing videos on his channel and is an amazing person in general. So go follow him on Twitter and subscribe to him ASAP. He definitely deserves your support. Franco says the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers for Avengers is incredible on PS5, because Franco is playing on PS5. That's awesome. Again, I'm playing on current gen, so I can't say for that aspect about the game. But what I'm trying to say before we start is the Hawkeye stuff is out now. Tachyon Anomaly, where you can play as a combination of your favorite heroes with Tachyon missions scaled for power levels for 1 to 100. We already are not fans of the Tachyon missions as is. Those are very, very boring when they include that in the game as an update. Red Room Takeover, which is supposed to coincide with the Black Widow movie, where the Red Room is now a theme to add for the Harm Room, with new hero outfits. Okay? It's stuff that already exists in the game with just a fresh coat of paint. That's not really new content, that's just kind of making old stuff feel fresh. And then we have also Summer and Beyond, which is where things get interesting, and of course, you gotta love how they don't give any specific dates for these, they just say summer or later. Okay? Cosmic Cube, new Scientist Supreme villain sector with Monica Rappaccini as the main villain, who is the head of AIM, who we fought in the campaign. Confront the unchecked power of the Cosmic Cube. Not really what I would like to call a new villain, just an old villain who now we get to fight one-on-one, I guess. Wasteland Patrol, with a picture of Hawkeye, so another character we already have in the game. New Warzone mission type, Patrol mode, new war zones and assignments within the Wasteland region. And what I read about this is that you're able to farm resources freely within this mode. Makes no sense. You already have the war zones to do just that, and it sounds like it's making you try and play the game for a longer amount of time, which is very confusing. Then you already have to. And then before we get to Black Panther, we do have additional content features and ongoing improvements. So some of these actually might excite you guys. Omega level threat missions, multiplayer mega hives, post level 50 progression, so after you get your hero level 50 you can increase them more, I suppose. And most importantly for you cosmetic fans, not me, as you guys know, I don't really care about cosmetics, I'm more of a default suit guy, but for you guys who have been clamoring for them since launch, I know you'll be happy about this. Outfits inspired by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So finally we're getting actual suits based off of the movies for this team, which everyone wanted since day one, and of course I did in fact put some suits on my top 5 suit list for these characters from the MCU. Some of them are from them. I'm not needing them, I'm just saying if you're wanting to give the game some spice of life, you obviously want to take from, I don't know, the highest selling financial superhero franchise of films of all time and input them into your game. I mean, again, like Spider-Man, all the movies are there, I guess, besides The Amazing Spider-Man 2. And the Human Spider from the Raimi films, but we have the Raimi suit, of course, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 suit, and all the MCU suits. By the way, all of which are free. So even though they're saying that they're going to put the MCU suits in the game, you're going to have to pay for them with microtransactions. So that means nothing to me. Ongoing improvements. So this is more quality of life stuff. Balanced tuning, Gear and progression, meaning that they're going to improve that, like kind of give it a makeover. Collectible comics system, so I guess new collectibles, and matchmaking, which they should have had by now. They should not have to wait until spring or summer to fix the matchmaking. It should already be fixed. And then, of course, the final one is for our king himself, T'Challa, Black Panther, with the War for Wakanda expansion. New hero with Black Panther, and again, all this is free, so that is a plus side. You don't have to pay for any of this. This is coming as free updates for the game. New hero outfits for everyone, not just Black Panther. Power level cap increase, so more grinding. New villains, including Claw, alright. New Claw faction of enemies, so his minions, pretty much. New story, I would hope so. New Wakandan jungle biome, so just a new area, which hopefully is not just another desert like this is. And new outpost, which is the hub, area to get gear and level up your characters and stuff. But you gotta love it. I'll try and get really close with this thing. So everything I just said, from currently now in March to spring and summer and beyond, is when all this content is supposedly going to be included into the game. Right here, I'm going to put it right up to the camera so you can see it. Right here on the side of the phone, or on the bottom corner of the roadmap, it says, this roadmap may change and does not include all in-progress work. So literally, everything that I just read doesn't matter, because none of the dates are official in any way. They can change at any time because they know that it will happen. They delayed the game once, they delayed all the heroes, they delayed the cosmetics, they delayed the cloning labs, they delayed the Omega level threats and hives. What's to stop them from delaying this? Nothing. So everything that I just read, I'm not buying it in the slightest. Black Panther in summer or beyond, meaning fall, he could probably be delayed all the way until next year for all we know. So everything that they just said is going to help improve the game could take them who knows how long. Because if they're going to switch up the dates or possibly arrange it in a different order, maybe Black Panther could come out earlier or later than what we know now, none of that matters. Because nothing that they've said has stuck ever since launch. I don't take them at face value. I don't listen to the points that they're making because anything can flip on a dime. And it's very, very odd that they are Hawkeye, which is the current stuff that is coming out now, which I understand, but more than how are we going to shape the game's experience to make it better for players to enjoy. And that is what I find strange. So anyways, that's the news that happened today. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. The roadmap is very odd. I'm not a fan of how they're giving no concrete dates, just saying that things will happen when they happen. It's coming soon. Again, it's just more legal jargon that means nothing, so I don't believe them at all. This was no way and any way that got me excited or hyped. It's just more of the same stuff that I've already felt about the game since launch. And it's disappointing because I love Marvel. I love the developers over at Crystal Dynamics. I've interviewed them myself personally at E3 before COVID struck, so I know them. And it just sucks to see the game be in such a bad spot, and the way that they went about approaching to try and get people excited has not really garnered any trust or sympathy from me in any way. Thank you all so much, though, for tuning in. Over 100 people in the stream right now, 112 people. Thank you all so much. Leave a like if you're excited for Hawkeye. Leave a like even if you disliked the new Square Enix presentation, and we are going to be starting right now. So I'm also going to be trying to play through the whole thing for you guys right now on stream. And now that I went over all the roadmap stuff and Black Panther, I will try my best finally to answer your amazing fan questions. Let's see. What I was going to do though is read the story before we start. Clint Barton is the original Hawkeye, a peerless marksman and master swordsman. He joins the Avengers with his own heroics, intrinsic takedowns, and cosmetics that set him apart from the rest of the team. Which again, you gotta buy with those sweet, sweet microtransactions. Clint is the steadfast hunter, taking down his foes with powerful, precise hits until he's the only one left standing. New arrow types allow Clint to heal teammates, which we've seen all this, seek out moving targets, and rain down damage from the sky with a massive volley of arrows. Hawkeye rejoins the Avengers in this new operation, I guess, period, which we knew. For the full story, play Kamala's origin tale in the Reassemble campaign. So they themselves confirm right there that the Marvel's Avengers campaign isn't even an Avengers campaign. It's a Kamala Khan origin story, which I'm fine with, but the problem is you shouldn't have marketed this game as an Avengers experience. Let's see. Because I also really do like the actress, Sandra Saad, who voices Kamala. I think she does a great job and also does the mocap as well. It's just that they, again, falsely marketed what the game actually is. Reassemble campaign and Kate's search for Clint in the taking aim operation. So, I did not live stream Kate's mission when it first came out because I just wanted to kind of... It was also late at night and I was like, we'll see what it is. But after today, I had to talk about this news, and now I'm actually going to be able to play this stuff for you guys on stream. And yes, before we go, this is how my current team looks. I'm keeping them as is. All of them should be at level 50, not power level 150, but the hero level 50. And Hawkeye is brand new, so I haven't touched him yet. Let's see. Sagma, before we start. Yeah, Aaron Yeager. Might as well call the game Marvel's Kamala. I would be fine with it if that's how they promoted it, but they didn't, so false marketing. Sagma, I haven't looked at any of the Hawkeye gameplay, but I hope that he has a swift moveset, I think you said. Sorry. I hope that he has a mechanic to switch types of bows and have a Horizon Zero Dawn type of system of shooting arrows. That'd be interesting. It kind of looked, again, similar to Kate without teleporting, because she has the Tachyon particles to help her with her moveset, which kind of makes her a little bit like Nightcrawler and Psylocke, which is strange. But Hawkeye is more default than... let's put it like this. Hawkeye is Peter, Kate is Miles. She has more powers than the base version, and she's all hip and cool. But Hawkeye is the OG, or Clint is the OG. Ghosty, they have this roadmap for Marvel's Avengers, and all this is cool, and yet they don't even have a specific date for all this content. Exactly. So why should I care about any of it? Oh, it's coming in the summer. Oh, it's coming in the spring. What days? We don't know. So why? That doesn't give me any confidence at all. Yeah, 1 to 4 players. We're doing it solo, guys, so sorry if you wanted to team up with me. We're just going to experience the campaign for myself, and then afterwards, maybe, in another stream, or maybe later today or whatever, we can do a team-up, co-op stream, playing with you guys, and see how that works. Hawkeye is back, but now the Avengers must face the uncertain future ahead. Clint, with his own future as a non-superpowered Avenger, as he and the team take out AIM's newest weapon. I've been streaming for a half an hour, and now we're just starting. Fantastic. I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to kind of give you all my thoughts beforehand about the roadmap, about my current thoughts on the game's status, why I think you should not be all that excited for what's to come, because there's still a lot to be skeptical about. If you're excited, that's fine. I'm happy for you. Let me know why you're excited. Maybe I can understand your reasoning. But more, everything that I just went over, I think there's more reason to be concerned instead of hyped. Whereas if they said, Spider-Man 2 is coming out next year for the game, obviously we're hyped because we know what Insomniac has done. We know that we can trust them, and we know that there is a lot of quality inputted into their products. With this, saying Black Panther is coming out in summer or beyond, notice not even summer, just summer or later, so we don't even know for sure if he's coming out in this year. Even though it says 2021 roadmap, that could still mean he could get delayed later on in 2021. So I'm just saying there's a lot more to be cautious about than fully blind faith trusting them. Ghosty, thoughts on Black Panther voice and skin? So voice is a W because Christopher Judge did a fantastic job as Kratos. And even though, of course, Chadwick Boseman will forever remain in our hearts as one of, if not the best versions of Black Panther, I'm always open to more differentiation. That's why I've said previously, Yuri Lowenthal is my favorite Spider-Man of all time. Not just for the games, but I mean in general. Yuri Lowenthal is Peter Parker to me because of how he embodies the character to a T. So easily, Christopher Judge could do the exact same thing for T'Challa as Black Panther. And the suit, I think, looks actually a lot better than the concept art. If you guys know, the concept art for Black Panther got leaked previously, and it was a lot more bulky. It was a lot more armored and kind of dense looking. It also had like weird straps on the side to make it look like it's like a homemade design, where he's supposed to be this person of royalty with this very sleek and not futuristic looking, but advanced tech embedded into his costume with the vibranium. So when they showed him with the concept art first, I was like, that looks like an armored suit, like as a like an alternate suit. But no, that was apparently his default suit, and I thought that looked really odd. I'm not a fan of that. And now they toned it down. They sleeked him up. They got him more trimmed up and kind of made it more streamlined. And I do appreciate that more. I think it looks fine. Not my favorite Black Panther suit of all time, and of course we need to see it in motion as well. But it looks good. I think it looks good, and I think that there is a lot of possibility for alternate suits. Of course, like the roadmap said, we're going to get finally MCU suits. So, of course, I'm sure people want to play as the Civil War Black Panther suit, which is my personal favorite Black Panther suit of all time, the one from Civil War, and the Black Panther movie suit where it's Shuri's design. Or, hopefully, we can also possibly get a golden suit, or the Killmonger suit, pretty much. I'm a huge fan of that one as well. But, if we get any one suit, I would say, for Black Panther from the MCU, I would need it to be the Civil War suit. That is my favorite Black Panther suit of all time. And I'm also not a fan of the Black Panther movie suit. I think it looks a bit too streamlined. And the face mask as well looks a bit too friendly looking. Whereas the other, the Civil War one looked vicious. Let's see.
Come on. Stay with me. Stay with me, Clint. Look at me, Barton.
Great. Alright, so now we're all caught up. Also, Evan, did you saw the live stream? Oh, Life is Strange announcement. Yes, I did. I'm actually a fan of Life is Strange. Max is a great character, and so is Chloe. I did not play Life is Strange with the two brothers because I wasn't a fan of how it was shaping up. But the first Life is Strange is fantastic, and the new one looks cool. I think it looks cool. Do you collect comics, Thomas Williams? Do you mean me as a person? Yes, I do. I haven't been keeping up with the recent stuff because I've been occupied. I've also been building my collection of Persona 5 merch instead of new comics. But I do collect comics in general. There's a huge stock of them in my closet. They're not organized at all, sadly, but I do have quite a lot in my disposal. Let's see. Can I switch the team or check the status of my team? Let's see. Spider-Man PS4, can't wait for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah. Happy Falcon and Winter Soldier Day as well as Zack Snyder Justice League Day. That's a huge win, which, by the way, I'm a huge fan of Man of Steel. Love Man of Steel to death. I don't care what anyone says. But you see my team here. What I'm trying to show you is my power level. My highest one is Iron Man. I'm super close to 150 because I want that trophy for getting a hero to that level. Kamala 143, 118, 136, 134, 138, and 50 for Kate because I stopped. After I got her to hero level 50, I stopped playing because it did not make me intrigued. Nothing about the game made me want to come back to it, and I just ditched it and immediately went back to Persona 5 Royal. So that's the problem. Nothing in the game is wanting to make me continue playing. And I should have the exact opposite reaction to that. What's going on? This is Clint's room, obviously, but is there an objective? Visit Clint. Yeah, so we gotta go talk to him in his room. Where he's bugging out. He's gotten the Tachyon fever. Not COVID, but close enough. Let's see. Jill A7. I'm a huge Destiny fan. Even we get roadmaps. I see. Even we get roadmaps. Yeah, you mean ones... I think the correct way is put that. You get roadmaps that follow through with their scheduling. This one, no. I would not trust this one whatsoever. But yeah. I'm trying to think of like games that you grind through to make progression. I mentioned earlier Genshin Impact. That's a great game. It's free to play, so download it if you haven't already. There's no... there are microtransactions, but again, everything you can earn in the game can be earned just by playing it, and it's super fun. I'm trying to think of other games that you grind through, like, you know, Destiny or like RPG-esque games that I may have played. God of War kind of had stuff like that in a way. Like, it was single player, but you had to grind for better gear and stats and stuff. I know Final Fantasy VII has something like that with weapons and things like that, but that's not the game that you're talking about. I know, like Live service looter shooter is the genre of what this is. Marvel's Avengers is a looter shooter, same as Destiny, same as what Meep just said. Monster Hunter, Assassin's Creed, Anthem. Holy smokes! The reason why I didn't bring up Anthem is because it got canceled. So that's, yeah, Ghosty. Oh wait, that sucked. Yeah, exactly. Osagma, Black Panther's default suit looks more like Iron Man instead of Black Panther. It's a masterpiece. It's so odd. Can't they just take the same type of suit from Civil War? I think it looks fine. And again, you can change it if you want to. I don't really care about alternate suits. Just I hope the default suit is good, which is why actually I despise the default Iron Man suit and the default Hawkeye suit for this game. The bald Hawkeye, not a fan. It's also all black just with the big purple arrow. I think it looks stupid. I hate Iron Man's default suit. I think that's the worst Iron Man suit I've ever seen. That's why I have a different one on for my personal pick. Captain America's suit's okay. I have a figure of him as a Marvel Legends figure in my room to collect, because I think he looks alright. Like, oh, that's the Crystal Dynamics Captain America. But it's too, like, SWAT-esque for Cap, who's supposed to be more nimble and sturdy and fit and sleek compared to, like, oh, he's just a riot cop, you know? Like, that doesn't make sense. Wait a minute. There we go, yeah. I thought he can do something with his arrows. Is there... Yeah. There's, like, the detective vision, I remember. Like, the you know, AI-type button that you can do to look around at things. Hawkeye's default suit looks trash, dude. I know, Meep. Meep. Dude, I'm right there with you. Which way are we going? This way? There's something up there which I'm trying to get. Yeah, Spider-Man PS4, Zack Snyder's Justice League looks... Oh, man, Twig, love Genshin Impact. That game is really surprised me. Exactly. It's really, really good. If you guys haven't played already, I think it's definitely worth your time. I'm trying to get up to that box. If I can't get to it, then whatever. But I want to try and see if I can get that first. Here we go. Let's see. Great. Alright, yeah. Jerry didn't like Genshin Impact. I played Genshin Impact and didn't like it. Yeah, it's not for everyone, just like this game. But once you get into, like, the you know, rhythm of it, it's very engaging. And the story's very odd. You know, like, I'm still, like, trying to wrap my head around it. Like, there's the Archons and the Visions and the, you know, the different regions of Snezhnaya and Inazuma and Mondstadt and Liyue. Like, I gotta keep it all in my, you know, brain. I still... It's hard to differentiate from, like, the Qixing and the holy crap, you know, like, some of their names, too. It's like, oh, God, am I pronouncing that right? Or I'm not sure. So, but it's very cultural, which I like about it. Just like Persona 5, like, it's, you know, very Japanese-oriented, so you get to experience their culture and their way of life. And it's very fun to learn about. Evan, when is Spider-Man 2 coming out? Jeff, if only I knew, buddy. Bro, if we knew that, we wouldn't be doing this right now, I'll tell you that much. All I know is that it sounds like the current status for Spider-Man 2 is that it is obviously in development, but currently what we know about it is that what Yuri Lowenthal said in an interview is that the motion capture for the game is not currently able to be done. The motion capture is not able to be done because of COVID, and they aren't able to actually meet in person in a studio. So that is on hold, but I'm sure they have, like, the script ready, and I'm sure they have, like, all their assets in place and how they want to develop it for the PlayStation 5, since I'm assuming it'll be a exclusive for the PlayStation 5, not a cross-gen game like Miles. I think it'll just be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Yeah, looking cool, Joker. Yeah, dude, exactly. Joker, Akira, Arsene, they're my boys. I know people call him Ren, since that's his canon name from Atlas, and in the anime they call him Ren as well, and the dancing as well. But me, no, like, Ren Amamiya versus Akira Kurusu, I don't know. Something about the name Akira, just, like, so badass. Like, I don't know. So, I call him Akira, Joker, whatever. My man, Persona 5, greatness. I also kind of am a little bit biased towards him since his hair is similar to mine. I don't know. He's too cool for me, though. Yeah, CC, Avengers Assemble. Thanks for tuning in the stream, dude. Hopefully you're having a good time. And thank you all, 90 viewers in the chat, or in the stream. There were over 100 at one point. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying the Hawkeye DLC yourself if you're playing it, or having a good day watching me play it. Sagma, dude, Insomniac hiring a concept artist director. Look it up. I saw it on just send this to Twitter. That is very important, but also what I find more important, which great thing that you brought up with the job postings, is this doesn't necessarily relate to Spider-Man per se, but I think it relates to the future of Marvel games, is that they're looking for a new project lead. What's going on here?
Still can't get over this mess.
Great. Crash Plane. Or Quinjet. They're looking for a new project lead at Marvel Games. A senior director, I think, for leading of projects because of their new games. If the Square Enix partnership is still intact. Because I don't think it is. To sadly say, I think right now, yes, we have the Hawkeye DLC. Yes, we're getting Black Panther. Yes, we're getting new stuff. But that's not until like 3-4 months from now. So who's to say if it'll actually still fall into fruition? Because they have a roadmap with no solid official dates, just time frames. Not if, like, oh, if they said March, or I guess if now, let's do this. Let's say May 15th they release Black Panther, if that was coming out. Or I guess, you know what? Scratch that. Let's start from the beginning. For the current roadmap we have now, let's say instead of summer and beyond, let's say that they instead said June 12th, 2021, Black Panther. Boom, done. I feel assured. That way they have a specific date in mind. I don't have to worry about waiting too long. I thought I pressed R2, not R1. Apple, I guess I have to unlock that. Let's say, okay, what I was saying, let's say Black Panther releases on June 12th, 2021. That's summer of this year, so that way they would still be intact with their roadmap, right? Right. So, if they follow with that schedule, who's to say that the next content that they're going to release for like Season 2, for example, is going to be on the same scheduling as what they have currently in mind right now for Hawkeye and Kate Bishop, who were the main two that we were supposed to get back last year in 2020. But now it took them a full year to get them in the game just now, and also release the current gen games on next gen, which was also supposed to come out last year. So, false promises on top of false promises, no official concrete dates, just hopeful wishes about, oh, it'll maybe come out in spring, maybe it'll come out in, summer, maybe it'll come out in fall, we don't know, because we're still working on it. And that's why it's taking us so long. I know he uses a bow. I'm more of a close-range guy. I'm sorry. I can't stand ranged characters. That's why I'm not a fan of Hawkeye or Kate Bishop in general. I go up close and personal all the time. Never. Even in Genshin Impact, I use Ganyu, who's an archer, as support. I use her to freeze people and then go in with the Traveler to attack them with the sword. I'd never use bow characters as main damage dealers. Never, never, never. It's not my style. But what I was trying to say is, with the whole job placement for the director of production for the new job at Marvel Games, they're looking for a new leader of projects for their studio because they know Avengers isn't cutting it. And what I'm worried about is that going to affect the leaked, not rumor, but actually leaked Guardians of the Galaxy game from Eidos Montreal. That's the next game that's in the pipeline for the Square Enix Marvel Games partnership. And there's been no update on that since, because we're still focusing heavily on Avengers. Now, that would be fine if Avengers was actually good, and we wouldn't have to worry about the next content coming out for the game and all that. But like, oh, like Hawkeye's coming out this month, Black Panther next month, Spider-Man the month after, Captain Marvel the week after that. Oh, cool. Continuous updates on continuous updates, fun content, the grind's fun, I'm playing with my friends, it's awesome. Fantastic. No worries here. I'm enjoying Avengers. Take all the time you need with Guardians. It's great. Instead, that's not the reception that this game's getting at all. Instead, people are wondering, holy crap, Avengers sucks. When's the next game coming out? When's Spider-Man 2 coming out? And that's not the reaction that this game should be getting. And it's sad to say that as a fan of the Marvel property and of these characters, because I love these characters. I love the developers, too, because I think the Tomb Raider games are excellent. The first one of theirs, the Tomb Raider 1, the reboot, 2013, one of my favorite games, because it's great. And the story's great, graphics are great, gameplay's fun, has a fun multiplayer mode as well. But you know, again, the reason why this game shaped up the way it is because Square Enix wanted it to be like that because they thought it would earn them the most money. And it didn't, and it bit them in the butt hard. So hopefully now they learn their lesson with how Hawkeye's shaping up and how he'll be received, whether or not it's good or bad. That's still out for the jury to decide pretty much since it just came out today. But where do I go? I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to be going. If Avengers was fun and the grind was entertaining and people wanted to be anticipated for the new content, then we wouldn't have to worry about Spider-Man 2's status or Guardians of the Galaxy's status. I guess I wasn't supposed to go in here. I'm gonna go to that question mark to get some loot. Bye, boys. See you next fall. I guess that was a hidden room. Weird. Anyways, I am just saying that I really hope that the update that we got today for Hawkeye is actually a good one that will actually keep players invested in the game, that will be entertaining for them, and especially if the content's good, that it will continue to reassure people that, hey, you know that massive Black Panther DLC that they just teased today? Wow, the Hawkeye stuff is actually really fun. I can't wait for Black Panther. Or, you know what? Hawkeye and Kate Bishop both sucked, so therefore I know for a fact that the Black Panther stuff is going to be a total bore. And that's the majority opinion that I think people will have, is that if this is more the same, which it is, it's not really going to do anything to benefit the game's life cycle. And for a live service game, that's a no-no. That cannot happen. Just like Genshin Impact. If there were people... especially since it's a free-to-play game, which is crazy that how much content is poured into that project as a free-to-play game. But if Genshin Impact delayed their scheduling for a character or a new event or something, obviously the community would be upset, and they would be stating their criticisms online, you know, belittling the team at Mihoyo, I think their name is. I think that's how you pronounce it, I think, for more content. The same thing is happening here, like Hawkeye, MCU skins, Cloning Labs, Black Panther, Spider-Man, you know, like all that, like for the PlayStation stuff. We just need content that will actually do a service to the game and the characters. And right now, you know, we just started this, but I can tell that it's going to be the exact same stuff with Hawkeye that I saw for Kate Bishop. Let's see. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. That's kind of where I stand on it. I think Meep or Man Twig brought up a great point about the status of the game, and hopefully it can be fixed. But yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? Are you playing Hawkeye right now? Do you enjoy how he's been set up? Do you like his voice actor, by the way? Because I'm always a fan of the story for the game, and the reason why I'm not really paying attention to this part as much is because I already saw it during the Marvel Games live stream that happened yesterday with Josh Soleil, who I did meet in person at Comic-Con, by the way. He's super nice. He's one of the go-to PR guys at Marvel. So I saw this whole section of the game where Clint is in the future, and then we also afterwards end up talking to Kate, and we go to the present to go get Lucky. I saw that already, so right now it's more of the same, but we'll see how it ends up shaping up by the time we get more into it. Franco, he's my favorite Avenger right now. Wow, okay, cool. Well, do you mean like to play as, or from the comics, or just in the game? Because for me, I would say, even though which is strange, you guys saw my whole character loadout of my team, that Iron Man is the highest hero level right now. I don't know why that's the case, because I'm more of a Black Widow main. And no, it's not because she's the closest to Spider-Man. I don't just play games just for Spider-Man. I think that her moveset is very fast-paced and fluid, and it's actually seamless to transition from the batons to the guns. Whereas this, the bow and arrow, I'm not really feeling it that much. I know I'm only using the sword, but yeah, I'm not a fan of bows and arrows. Archers, really. Not my style. But that's cool that Franco, that's, oh, fair in the comics and the game. Cool. Alright. I know people were saying that they really enjoyed Kate Bishop's character moveset and stuff because of her teleporting and the Tachyon blade stuff. But again, at that point, she stopped being Kate Bishop. Because, again, it's like Miles Morales. He kind of has powers that are the same as the original but expanded. So like, okay, so she has literally a sword, which Hawkeye has, a bow, which Hawkeye has, but how can we make her different? Oh, let's make her Nightcrawler and Psylocke turn into one. So really, she's not Kate Bishop anymore, because she can teleport and she has like the laser blade slashes. Franco, nice profile picture. Yep, Franco has the best profile pictures of all time. What's going on? Is this locked? Oh, there we go. What's happening? Spam that square, baby. Let's see. Kenyatta, Harriet. It's dumb for them to release two basically identical characters instead of focusing on different ones. Yes. Exactly. Correct. Absolutely. That's why they shouldn't have started with it. And then, like, the thing, too, which is the real kicker, like, oh, Hawkeye and Kate is a 2-for-1 package, which is why we put them out in the first place. So, we have Hawkeye, who's coming after Kate, to expand the story about the Kree invasion and all that, which is the big endgame content that they're trying to have in mind. But 2-for-1 package, yet it's a 3-month time gap. And we're only now expanding the story when everyone's already forgotten what happened. Now, they had the, the previously on Avengers thing, but really, like, no one was like, yes, out of today, what's happening? Like me, as I said, I'm more of a gamer than a cinephile, a moviegoer, so that's why I'm not as excited for the Snyder Cut or Falcon and Winter Soldier. I love Zack Snyder because I love Man of Steel and also 300 and some of his other movies. But I'm not a fan of Justice League, like the Joss Whedon cut. And I'm sure the Snyder Cut has new stuff in it, but I'm just like, I'm not really dying to go and see it ASAP. But this, it's for a game that I want to succeed. I'm a gamer at heart. I want to play it. I want to see where it goes. But I will be critical because I want to progress further in the best way possible. What I was trying to say is, what would you choose amongst the three stuff that's happened, the three big things that are happening today? The Snyder Cut, Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Hawkeye in Marvel's Avengers. Now, me, I choose Hawkeye because I'm a gamer, but the majority of people are choosing the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is currently trending on Twitter, and the whole 4-hour length is making people stay with it more than, I'm assuming, 2 or 3 hours long is how this is going to be. Let's see. Jill AAA7, Josh Keaton should voice Spider-Man in Marvel's Avengers. 100%. Or, at the very least, do not have Yuri voice this Spider-Man, because this is, again, a different Spider-Man from the Insomniac version. So, it would make literally no sense if they got the same exact voice actor from the better Spider-Man games to voice the same character when it's supposed to be a different version. So, I would say either Josh Keaton, Christopher Daniel Barnes, if he's available, or, big or, hope to God, if at all possible that happens, Neil Patrick Harris. Please, that's my boy. The new animated series, if they revived him, then this game wins all the points. Ghosty, my main in Avengers are between Iron Man and Miss Marvel, but when Spider-Man arrives, he's going to be my main. Yeah, of course, he's going to be everyone's mains. And I will say, I'm not a fan of microtransactions. I hate the live service elements that this game has, but I've said on previous streams, and I'm going to say it here as well, if Spider-Man comes out in this game, and he has the Battle Pass challenge card, and he has new cosmetics, and if one of the suits that he has in the game is the advanced suit, because he's a PlayStation exclusive character, and I know he's not the same version as Insomniac, but what if they do like a little cross-promotion thing where he's not the same version from those games, but he does have the suit from the games that you can wear, and if that happens to be in the game's like Battle Pass challenge card to purchase, yeah, it's over for me. It's over. I'm going to buy that ASAP. I'm going to buy the entire challenge card in like 2 seconds flat when they showcase that. I'm a simp for the advanced suit. You guys know me already. So that's not even like a hot take. That's like a fact for me. And yeah, we need like good suits, by the way, because I know, like, for a fact, an actual fact, that if what's going on? Did we do it? Yeah, I thought we did. If Spider-Man has his suit come out and it looks garbage, or his alternate suits are just recolors of the base suit and not like the Scarlet Spider, Future Foundation, Bagman, Kane's Scarlet Spider, Cyborg Spider-Man, Aaron Eichmann, Spider-Ham,
Wrestling Spider-Man. Spider-Man Battle Damaged. All these iconic costumes, if they have none of those at all for Spider-Man, there is going to be hell on earth. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, Azrael Reyes. This game is alright, but it can be better. Yeah, again, the game's campaign is fun enough for a single-player story, but for what this game is supposed to be, there are several other games that do this genre better, and that's the problem. And meanwhile, we just want it to be good, is where we currently stand. Sagma, you're a madman. Are you kidding me? I think that they should get the guy from Web of Shadows to voice Spider-Man. I'm kind of biased because that's one of my favorite games, or one of my first games. Listen. I love Web of Shadows to death, but oh my god, and I think I know his name too, who's the voice of Spider-Man in that game. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. The voice actor of Spider-Man Web of Shadows, no. Please no. It's not John, right? It's like, crap. I'm gonna look him up right now. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I know exactly who you're talking about too, but no, please. If you want to kill the game, you bet. They can choose the Web of Shadows voice actor ASAP, but oh boy, whew. That's gonna be a rough ride. Did the game just glitch? Oh no, guys. Oh boy. Let's see. Is it Keith or Kevin something? Boys, I think the game just glitched. Let's see. I'm trying to look up the actors right now for Web of Shadows. Mike Vaughn! That's his name. Hey, Insane got it. Yeah, I found it right here too. Yep, Mike Vaughn. Oh, if you got Mike Vaughn as the voice for Spider-Man in Avengers, oh my god. You will cause chaos. And the game glitch, boys. Fun fact, Franco and I played the game together about like a couple weeks ago and stuff, just to try it out and see how we thought about, oh, there it goes. How we thought about the content and our thoughts about Kate Bishop and stuff and where the game could go next. When we were playing it co-op, we glitched through the face of the earth. And also, it took, like, when we beat a mission together in co-op, I was Black Widow, I think, and he was Captain America. We beat a mission in one of the vaults, and it made us stay there for, like, I'm not even kidding, 10 to 20 minutes. So, that is insane. Yeah, Blasty, I didn't mind his voice in Web of Shadows either, Mike Vaughn, but oh my god, people are not a fan of him. Like, I thought it was fine. His black suit voice is actually pretty good if that was the standard voice, you know, like his red suit voice. But his red suit voice, I do understand, it gets a bit high-pitched and overly whiny. But it's so crazy that his kind of more meek-sounding voice is coming from one of the most badass versions of Spider-Man we've ever had in gaming. In general, really. It's hilarious. Yeah, hey, Insane got it. Mike Vaughn is Web of Shadows Spider-Man. If you got him back, hashtag Mike Vaughn for Avengers. Tweet that out right now and I'll retweet. Use the war table to start my life as a weapon. Yes, and we got our character. I also saw we got some skill points, so we're going to try and level him up right now. Great! More grinding. Let's see. Oh, great. I leveled up 3 levels. Excellent. Can't wait to spend so much more time doing that. Let's see. Light attack, heavy attack, ranged, intrinsic. So I'm going to do primary for now. Let's keep it simple. So, let's see here. Hold square. Yeah, that helps. Implosion arrow. Kate has the same thing like that. So, split arrow, hold triangle. Sprinting attack. Nah, that's alright. Aerial attack. Is this hold triangle? Yeah, we'll keep it simple. Hold square, hold triangle. That helps. And then, intrinsic. What's this? Boomerang arrow. Hold R2, press square to fire an arrow that travels in an arc, hitting an enemy in its path. That looks helpful. What's a sword one? Hold R2, press... Yes, this is the one. Swordsman Prodigy. Hold R2 and press triangle to fire a grapple arrow at a target, quickly zipping towards the target and attacking them with a powerful sword slash. I'm a melee guy, so that's go-to for me. Gear, could care less, just equip the best, because that's all we can do at this point. And cosmetics. Great cosmetic right there. Fantastic. Now, out of all these, I'm not a fan of the Ronin one, because I don't like how we see his eyes. I wish it was white eyes, but it looks fine. No, I hate that one. The high-tech Hawkeye looks terrible. Hawkeye Classic looks okay. Let's see. The head shape, the shape of the head is a bit strange. Of course, they got the classic mask, though, so that's fine. Yeah, Franco, we dropped the battle bus. That's exactly what we did when we played Avengers. Here's the high-tech Hawkeye, if you guys want a closer look at it. Iron Eye, yeah, I'm not a fan of this one at all. Ronin, I know a lot of people want the Ronin one. Me, though, once I have enough credits, I think I'm getting closer to maxing out some other challenge card. This is the one I'm going to wear. Although, it's not one-to-one comic accurate, because he's missing the bullseye scarf at the top and more armor padding and stuff, but this is the one I'm going to be mainly wearing once I can unlock it. Takedowns, let's see. We have one. What's this one? Oh, this is with a challenge card and stay down. That's fine. But yeah, we only have one takedown so far. Excellent. Jill, Ronin from Titanfall 2. Yeah. Or Gil, sorry. Marketplace is fine. Yeah, I have 500 credits, so I'm going to save more for the rare Ultimate Hawkeye outfit. No emotes, because I don't care about those. Challenge card, how are we doing on that? Downloading required updates. Okay. Level 5, we get the takedown. What's for the dailies? Hit range attacks without missing. I can do that. Defeat disrupted enemies. Okay. And then weekly, just grind. Just grind through the game and you'll unlock stuff over time. That's literally all it is. Missions, mission chain. Iconic mission chain, okay. And the tutorial. So we're not going to waste time with the harm room. We're just going to go straight into the Operation Future Imperfect. My life as a weapon. After recovering from his mysterious illness, Hawkeye decides to return home to settle some affairs. That's what we're going to do next. Let's see. Okay, so that was kind of the UI. If you guys haven't seen it yet, that's kind of what Hawkeye's base loadout looks like. I got the gear with the best stats because I don't care about setting up certain loadouts because it's all the same when you start playing. And now he has hair, by the way, so he's not bald. And by the way, I should have also said that the old man Hawkeye hair, if you noticed, is literally just the reused asset of bearded Tony hair. Like, you know, down on his luck Tony with the big hair and the beard. That's literally what Clint had, but with gray. It was just a different color palette. So that's kind of lazy. And that's my favorite Iron Man suit right there, so I'm sticking with that one. I hate the default one again, but we'll stick with default with Clint and see what happens. Yeah, Jesus. Mike Vaughn from Marvel's Avengers. How hilarious would that be? Oh, man. How funny. But yeah, if anything, I would say, just on the bright side, it's a good time to be a fan of just comics and stuff. You got the Snyder Cut for DC fans who've been clamoring for it for years. We finally got it. It's been so long. Zack Snyder finally gets to individualize his own vision for those characters in his movie, which is great because I love Man of Steel. Batman vs. Superman was okay. Not my favorite, but it was fine. Falcon Winter Soldier, if you have Disney Plus, that's fun to get back into the MCU. And for the games front, you know, we're still waiting for the big news, of course, which would be Marvel's Spider-Man 2. But in the meantime, we do have Hawkeye to keep our palates stimulated for the next big Marvel drop, which hopefully would be either the Guardians of the Galaxy game, maybe some Miles DLC, if Insomniac wants to be so kind, which I don't think we will get, though, because it's a spin-off game. And, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, dude! Hyrule Warrior 12. Sean Paquette. Yes, please. Who, if you guys don't know, is the voice actor of Peter Parker from the Ultimate Spider-Man video game from, 2005. Which is literally one of my favorite characters, or voice actors, to play the character ever. Like, whenever I read the Ultimate comics, I hear Sean's voice. Just like now, if I read any of the more modern comics, I read Yuri's voice. Kareem, Muhammad, Evan, you're not even listening to the cutscenes, I know, but as I said earlier in the live stream, I did already watch the Marvel live stream, which occurred yesterday, of them playing through this. So I saw the early stuff with Old Man Hawkeye. I saw the stuff here where he's going to save Lucky. and with Kate and talk to his neighbors and stuff, which New York is still abandoned, by the way, but there's people on the rooftop having a barbecue, which is strange. But yeah, no, I've seen this stuff. Don't worry, once we get to like the Maestro stuff and I think the time travel stuff, then I'll shut my trap. Don't worry. Jill, I went to my school Halloween dance in the advanced suit represent. Props to Jill. That is fantastic. Or Gil, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But that is a huge win, dude. What did your class say? I wonder if they knew it was from the game or anything. They're like, oh, that's a cool Spider-Man suit. Because I know there's still some people out there, funny enough, who don't know about the game. You know, like, oh, yeah, there's a Spider-Man game. But then when they see the suit, like, whoa, what's that? You know, they're kind of like still unknown for it. Because, of course, the most financially profitable Spider-Man today still remains to be Tom Holland with Far From Home with over $1 billion. However, on the bright side, we have our boy, Spider-Man PS4, the PS4 version of the game, not the remaster, but our main PS4 version of it. You know, of course, recently sold over 20 million copies worldwide, which makes it the highest-selling superhero game of all time and the highest-selling PlayStation exclusive ever made. So that's fantastic. So props to our boy. Let's see. Reality World, this game looks and plays better on PS5. I'm sure it does. That's every game pretty much, so no surprise there. I am playing it on my PS4 Pro. It looks fine. Just like, again, Spider-Man PS4, you know, the John Bubniak version looks and plays beautifully well on my PS4 Pro. But of course, once I do get a PS5, I will be playing the remaster, Miles Morales, and also Avengers on PS5 to see the big difference in terms of visuals. Yeah, let's see. Jalen, I'm coming back for Black Panther DLC. That looks dope. Well, you're going to have to wait a while, so... I mean, you're going to have to come back in like a few months or so. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will come back for Black Panther. But the question is, again, the question is not will they come back. The question is, will they stay? Because I'm coming back for Hawkeye, but after I beat his story stuff, I'm probably going to go back to Genshin or Persona. Or maybe even just replay Spider-Man. You know, I'm not going to really be sticking around here to grind Hawkeye. But yeah, it's just kind of odd. I forgot. I'm trying to... I keep forgetting. I'm trying to dodge in midair like it's Miles, but I forget I can't move at all in midair. I'm also not Thor or Iron Man, so that's a no-go. But yeah, it depends. I mean, if you're excited for Avengers, I'm very, very happy for you. I'm not saying that you can't be excited. I'm just saying to temper your expectations. That's all I'm saying. And also look at it with a critical perspective. You know, look at it with not like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever, I'm so hyped and excited. No, look at it like, oh, will this be good and worth my time and investment in this game? And if not, then there's a problem. That's why, like me, like, oh, you know, the remaster for Spider-Man PS4 has all the visual updates, has the ray tracing, has the 3D audio, but then it has the face. And I'm like, well, that's not really making me want to get a PS5 right now, since I can still play my favorite version of it on my PS4, but I will buy it because I want to support Insomniac and their games. And what's this guy doing? Great. And I want to see them make more games, so that's why I will buy their product. Just like, actually, even though I've been ranking on Avengers this whole time, once I get a PS5, I will buy the PS5 version. Not the free upgrade with it, but I'll actually go out and buy the physical version of the PS5 edition of Avengers, because I want to support Marvel, I want to support this game, and because of that, I have every right to be critical about it because I'm spending my time and money on said game. And that's why I'm hoping for the best experience possible. Hey Insane, I never played Marvel's Avengers, I only watch other people play it. Well, I thank you then for watching me. That's very kind of you. But I would say, if you're wondering if you should get it or not, I would say wait until Black Panther. Then that would be the best time. Because then you have all this content, you have the main game, the campaign, the Kate Bishop stuff, the Hawkeye stuff, and a next-gen game to play with the expansion of Black Panther. So if you're still waiting for it, or you're wondering if you should get it, I would say either A, buy Spider-Man Remastered and the Miles Morales, the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, so you can buy 2 games for the price of 1, or wait until Black Panther comes out. Jill, I even got a date whilst wearing the advanced suit. Insomniac truly changed my life. That is amazing. huge props, dude. That is incredible. Franco, does that mean Radioactive Replay will return? Ooh, asking the spicy questions, are we? Ooh, okay. You know what's funny? I wanted so badly to do a replay of Ultimate Destruction. Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I have it on my PS2, but we've been doing a lot of things recently on the channel and also my personal life that I haven't been able to go back into my PlayStation 2 and start up the game. But if Radioactive Replay does return, the first game we're playing on it is going to be Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, and then we could go and maybe replay the remaster for Marvel's Avengers, Marvel's Spider-Man remastered on PS5, Miles Morales on PS5, and Marvel's Avengers on PS5. So a whole next-gen Radioactive Replay. How's that sound? I would be super down for that if and when I can get a PS5, and I'd be more inclined to make as many videos as possible for that on the channel. Because we've already seen Miles on PS4, and I played the Spider-Man PS4 so many times, so that's kind of like old hat at this point, but everyone's like, where's the new stuff? Where's the new stuff? And of course, currently new right now is Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales on PS5, and now today, Marvel's Avengers on PS5. Not backwards compatible on PS5, but the actual native base next-gen version. Although I'm so happy, though, that you can play Spider-Man PS4, the John Bubniak version, backwards compatible on the PS5 if you don't want to play the remaster. Now, again, and Franco can attest to this, where the remaster has Peter. It does have Peter, but I mean, the remaster has the ray trace environment, 60 FPS, DualSense capabilities, better audio, better visuals, better frame rate, better enhanced capabilities in general. So it's a win if you're playing on next gen. It's just that I can't get over the new face still. But in time, again, once I play it for myself, then I'll be sure to be more transition into it. Yeah, Andrew, Spidey Outcast, do it. Do it, Palpatine, yes. Absolutely. Off-topic question from Mr. Nazir. Do you want, when the next Spider-Man game comes out, Spider-Man's black suit to be very aggressive with his attacks? Absolutely. 1000% yes. And I've said this previously, if they just do Web of Shadows 2, like in terms of that, like in terms of its combat, like, oh, you got the black suit, you got the red suit, you can switch between them on the fly, you can do it seamlessly, which the sequel should be able to do if it's a fully next-gen game by the time it releases in 2022 or 2023 or something. It has no excuse to not have the feature of being able to swap freely between the black and red suit. And yes, have it like Spider-Man Shadow Dimensions, or even Spider-Man 3, funny enough, the movie tie-in game, where red suit is more fluid, he's more graceful, he uses more web-based attacks, whereas the black suit, he's more ferocious, he's more up-close and personal, and if you want to get crazy, he uses the tendrils and stuff. Whereas like in Ultimate Spider-Man, it was just a cosmetic. You know, the black suit, if you got all the tokens somehow, if you managed to acquire all those, you were able to wear it, and it was just a costume, a skin. But for Shattered Dimensions and Spider-Man 3 and Web of Shadows mainly, of course, it had its own, you know, life. You know, it had its own way of life and way of actually traversing. Even its moves, even when swinging. Web of Shadows had different moves for the black suit to use in midair. And the web strike, he could freaking skateboard on people, dude. He could skateboard on symbiote mini venoms on walls or on the ground or in midair, and web strike through them and all that. That's the best freaking thing I've ever seen. Web of Shadows still has the best combat in any Spider-Man game to date. But yes, if they, you know, just do like off-the-walls crazy combat with the symbiote for the sequel, I'm down. And in terms of how it will look, I need it to be like, if they just do the black advanced suit, you know, symbiote aesthetically for that main costume, give it to me. That's fine. Literally all I would want and more. Yeah. Commando Rex, Evan, how am I liking Hawkeye so far? I think we're still in the early phases of the game. You see me playing him, I'm already accustomed with how the game works. So it's not like, oh, how do I control him? Like, this game's bad because I can't. Which, by the way, sidebar, I hate it when reviewers for any game just say the game's bad because they're bad at playing it. Greg Miller, Web of Shadows. Where they grade the game, or they they give it a lower rating because they themselves suck at it. So it's not that I'm bad at playing the game, because I'm fine with using the characters and I know how they all operate. But again, nothing about it's like, oh my god, this Hawkeye DLC is so much fun, I'm so encapsulated in the story, this gameplay is amazing. No, it's nothing like that. It's the same stuff that we got from Kate Bishop, just now with Hawkeye, Clint, instead of Kate. And the story is already kind of bare bones as is. They're really trying heavily to try and copy the MCU aesthetic of it, which I'm not a fan of. I wish they, were more of their own thing. And they're reliant too much on that instead of, like, the actual comic source material, where they say, oh, yeah, we looked at My Life as a Weapon, the Matt Fraction run, and all this stuff for the comics. Okay, show me that, please? Because all I'm seeing are just these skins and nothing else. And the story, like, oh, joking 24/7, haha, funny, like, I don't care. Like, make it more grounded and heartfelt and meaningful to this version of the Avengers, instead of just trying to appear as something that they're not, which clearly they're trying their hardest to be the MCU versions, but it's not working for me specifically. I don't know why you aim to the side, Clint. We gotta aim to the people in front of us. Okay, not gonna die, but I'm getting close to just getting bamboozled by all these people. Ouch. Let me just use this health there. Oh, frozen. Okay. Get that out of here. Let's see. Jill, everyone at Halloween. Oh, you already told us that. Michael Country, or Courtney, sorry. Does anyone think the Snyder Cut just alone beats Marvel's Avengers? I'm sure it does. First of all, you get more content with it. 4 hours worth. Where granted, this is probably going to be 3 to 4 hours long. But it's more of the same stuff every time. Grinding, beating these enemies, doing the same mission over and over again. So really, how much of that is new? Whereas the Snyder Cut, it's the same movie, but now with the added stuff with how it was supposed to be made. With Zack Snyder's additions and stuff. And I also love Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he's incredible. I think Man of Steel is one of the best... I don't know, not the best superhero movies of all time. Well, I guess one of the best DC movies, I think, in my opinion. Not better than, like, The Dark Knight, of course, but certainly better than, like, Shazam. Like, I know Shazam's like, oh, fun, lighthearted, romp, like a fun superhero movie. No. Me, I would choose Man of Steel over Shazam any day of the week. That's a fact. I love Man of Steel so much. The score! Whew! The score alone, Hans Zimmer. Oh my god. Mastermind. Mastermind of soundtracks in movies. He's so good. In Man of Steel, it's incredible. Let's see. Yeah, Spidey Outcast, Andrew, one of the Spidey Squad members, is currently watching the Snyder Cut instead of playing Hawkeye. Let's put this in perspective. One of the main Spidey Squad members, Franco as well, he's in here playing Hawkeye on PS5. But Andrew, we love Marvel, he decided to watch the Snyder Cut instead of play Hawkeye. And again, that's not just him. That is the majority of the populace today, right now, on social media. They're mainly choosing to decide again, should I watch the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier? Should I watch the Snyder Cut, which is 4 hours long? Or should I play this DLC of Hawkeye, which is a character that not too many people are super hyped for, with a game that has a lot of questionable factors put into it as is. Alright, so did that mission, and now I think I'm all caught up. Wait, what's going on? I guess we're going to the next thing.
Not sure. Didn't read it.
Yeah. Anyways, so we did these missions that they streamed yesterday on Marvel's YouTube channel. So right now I'm all caught up with the story. What's coming next is new, so I might be a bit more, distracted towards the game instead of the chat. But if you have any questions, let me know. Evan, did you see the trailer for Forspoken? Yes, the last game that they showed during the Square Enix presentation. I did. Looks cool. Need to know more about it, though. But, yeah. New project is cool. I think it looks interesting. Although, you noticed how Outriders seems to be doing a better job of making an Avengers game in this format versus the actual Avengers game. It's not really what I would like to see from that, but yes, it's kind of strange on that front. Let's see. Amon Nadeem, hi, can I tell you some news about Marvel Spider-Man 2, please? Sure, if you have any. If it's legitimate, or just you mean a theory about it, why not? Batwing, what do you think about Marvel games? What do you think Marvel games will announce this year? Spider-Man 2 teaser, smaller game, or something else? So, if Avengers, which again Black Panther is supposed to release in summer or beyond, their words, for Avengers this year. If it does, then fine, great. If not, which I'm on the front saying I don't think it will, that's not good. So Marvel Games needs another project to regain consumers' interest. And of course, what are we all waiting for right now other than Spider-Man 2? And again, like I said previously, of the Guardians of the Galaxy Eidos Montreal game. So, by the end of this year, if COVID still hasn't impacted their motion capture status and development front on that game's progress, they could do a small teaser for Spider-Man 2 set to release fall of 2022 or mid to late 2023 for PS5. Or, again, like Jill said, Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that's the main one that we should keep our eyes peeled for is Guardians of the Galaxy. That one makes the most sense. It's in the next pipeline of games coming from Eidos Montreal, and that works the best. Get me out of this suit, please. I hate it with all my heart. Look how... Hawkeye. One of the most iconic-looking characters in the Avengers roster in comics. You know, with the Wolverine-like mask, the purple attire, and we see that as a costume, which is modernized, but how can we take his modern look in our AAA game and incorporate it into our overall visuals aesthetic style? Black everything, with little on the shoulder pad, or the arm pad, and just a purple arrow on the front, and bald. Great! Got me beat! Whoo boy, and I'm telling you right now, if they had a suit like looking just like this, like that was so bare bones and plain for Spider-Man, like the undie suit, for example, then we got a problem, because that one is a problem. It's probably too hot to handle for certain viewers, which I respect, but no, I'm not a fan of the undie suit. Undies Hawkeye win is my question. Let's see. Hold R2 and square, I'll do that. I'm going to do all the primary stuff. What do we got here? That's a sprint attack. Press triangle while evading. These are always helpful, the evade attacks there. Circle, square. This is a combo. Okay, square, 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 triangle. So a finisher move. Okay. What's this? This helps, yeah, dodge light attack, and then I'll do that combo move. Again, I'm an up close and personal type of guy. That's why you're not seeing me upgrade any of his bow and arrow moves, because I'm more of the up close and personal damage dealer. Ghosty, in Marvel's Avengers, plays as Spider-Man and gets the advanced suit in the game, but it's not the exact same one. That's not my son. Yeah, that's not my son. Who is this imposter? Yes, that would be me. Yeah, exactly. Who, like, it's that meme, Patrick from SpongeBob, where he looks under his rock and he sees all the eyes. Who are you people? Who is he? That's literally me. If they have Spider-Man in this game with the advanced suit, but it's not Insomniac's version. Like, so what was the point then? If they end up doing that, then why not just make it the same one from the Insomniac version? Everyone would love, me specifically, I would love, we've been saying it for years now, ever since 2016 when I started this channel, three letters. Well, three words and 3 letters. MGU, Marvel Gaming Universe. I need it. I needed it since yesterday. I wanted Spider-Man and Avengers to be in the same universe, but it's not. Instead, they're doing their own thing, which is fine. We still have Spider-Man in the game. He's going to be here whenever, but I think it would have been cooler if they somehow made them synonymously amongst each other to connect all these games, and then sooner or later, by like 10 years or so down the line, we would get like an Infinity War game with every single character from these games into one big project. That's what this is trying to be, but it failed miserably. So, can't really say it for this, but hopefully by the time they make another game, things change. Let's see. I hope I hope they come out with characters like the Defenders or Guardians to save this. So again, that's kind of the big thing. Let's see. Kareem Mohammed, one cool touch Avengers should do is make grass reflect with light so that the environments look better. Or I guess you mean reflective lighting, like ray tracing. I'm sure that's in the next gen version. but I'm playing it on PS4, so I don't know for sure if it's good or not. Gear, don't really care about any of that right now. We're going to play as Hawkeye, so we don't really need to focus on getting that too much since we'll get it while we play. What was I going to say? Spider-Man, Hawkeye, grinding, content, free, Infinity War, Marvel games. That's an interesting symbol or art design. Till death, Hank Pym has modified the Quinjet to reach the future time bridge, travel to the future wastelands, and find Nick Fury. Okay, so this is new. I have not played this yet, so I might be a bit more focused on the story than the chat, but we'll see what happens. I forget what I was saying. Spider-Man in the game, Marvel game universe. Someone asked a question which I was going to answer to. Thoughts on Black Panther reveal? Andrew, I already answered that, but basically, I think his suit looks cool. Christopher Judge is going to do great. I think he's a great voice actor, so the voice actor who's playing Black Panther is Kratos, Christopher Judge. I think he'll do fine. Again, just like how I think Yuri is my favorite Spider-Man of all time, not just from games, but in general. Not Toby, not Tom, not Andrew, but Yuri. I think Christopher Judge could possibly be the same thing for Black Panther. Let's see. That's not my son. Read this. That's an update. Oh, that's right. So it was from It's Ghost. He asked the question about what do I think about characters like the Guardians or Defenders being added in this game. So my answer is they won't, because that's not the name of the game. Marvel's Avengers. And we also, again, know that they're in a multi-year, multi-game partnership with Square Enix. So they have to hold out with adding certain characters from certain teams because there are possibilities for other games. So for example, now they officially revealed for real this time, with a character model and voice actor and everything, Black Panther. So that means, whether that be for better or worse, I think it's actually worse, in my opinion, this means that we will not receive a AAA Black Panther game. I know a lot of people want that, but now that he's in an already AAA Marvel game, whether you like it or not, that's not going to happen. Just like it's the Avengers. So we're not going to get a AAA solo Iron Man game. We're not going to get a AAA solo Hulk game like Ultimate Destruction again, because he's in this. We're not going to get a AAA solo Captain America game like the Super Soldier Movie tie-in game, because he's in this. So we're not going to get a free roam AAA open world Black Panther game in Wakanda, no matter how awesome that sounds. We're not going to get a AAA open world, single player oriented Doctor Strange game if they ever include him in this project, because he's already here. So if they were to include the Defenders characters, meaning Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, or Iron Fist in this, that would in turn cancel any type of Defenders game. Same goes for Guardians, because they're already planning to make them their own game. So there's not going to be Star-Lord, there's not going to be Rocket Raccoon, there's not going to be Gamora, Drax, or Groot, because they're, or maybe even like some of the comics characters of that team, like Moondragon and stuff like that, they're not in the game, because they're going to be probably part of their own project. And that could be for the better, because that way they can make a completely different game. But yeah, no, like, that's why if they, and you could say, well, Spider-Man's the exception. Well, because Spider-Man's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the poster boy for Marvel games. And Marvel in general, you know? So, of course, Spider-Man's gonna get his own AAA game. Miles got his own AAA game. We're gonna get the Spider-Man sequel with Peter and the symbiote. And, he can be in anything. He's in Marvel vs. Capcom, he's in his own game, he's in Avengers, he's in mobile games. He's shockingly enough not in Fortnite yet, which is surprising because all the other Marvel characters are in Fortnite. No, and then in fact, I'm happy with that. Kind of sad with Black Panther's case because that means we're not going to get a AAA solo Black Panther game. But instead, we could get a good single-player-oriented, not live service, free roam, open world Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is not live service, which I hope is the case, and a Defenders game that's like 4-player co-op, or something similar to probably Gotham Knights, which is 2-player co-op. It's not live service. It's single-player, story-oriented. There's a lot of stuff going to be included in it. Kind of same thing though, grinding for gear. You know, a loot-based system, customization. So we'll see whether or not that works for Gotham Knights. But if they did something like that for Defenders, or again, mainly what everyone wants, me specifically, a single-player Daredevil game, yes, please. I would kill for that, and so would so many other people. Imagine this, a Daredevil game with the action-adventure style for, but instead of, you know, doing the science work and all that, you actually get to be an attorney at law. You get to do work in the court, and you get to do cases and stuff that lead to like a big crime den of you know, back alley deals happening in Hell's Kitchen, and it's either Kingpin or some other big crime boss or something that's taking New York by storm, and it's up to Daredevil from the shadows to save it, while Matt Murdock, blind lawyer, has to solve things from the day as a you know, attorney at law. I would love that. Like LA Noire meets Spider-Man PS4. That's literally the perfect game. Right there. LA Noire meets Spider-Man. Absolutely perfect. I would kill for a game like that. You already know. I would confirm right now. I can guarantee it. If that game were to be made instead of a game like this, Marvel's Avengers live service looter shooter, a AAA single-player, solo-oriented, you know, campaign, story-driven Daredevil game would instantly outsell Avengers. In a second. No questions asked. Yeah, Spidey Outcast, Troy Baker for Daredevil, and that's kind of the problem here as well, is that Troy Baker is voicing Bruce Banner in this game, so they can't use these actors again for, you know, other Marvel characters. Like, oh, you wouldn't have Troy Baker voice Marvel's Avengers, Iron Man, and Bruce Banner. Like, they have to be one of these big characters. That's why they got Christopher Judge as Black Panther. Now, Troy Baker is voicing Simon Krieger and Miles Morales in the the Insomniac Spider-Man universe, but that's a different universe, so it's okay. He's filling a role, even though it's a Marvel game property, he's filling a different role in a completely different realm, you know? So, if they were to make a Daredevil game, I would actually not want it to be Troy Baker. I love Troy Baker, he's great in everything, but the problem is, he isn't everything. So I want someone new and fresh. That's why I like Christopher Judge as the choice for T'Challa. I think he's going to do a great job. That's why I love Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker, because it's not the standard pick, of course, of Josh Keaton or Robbie Damon, who's the current voice of him in the Disney XD show. It's someone more on the, oh, you know, he's been Spider-Man before, but he's never been in, like, the biggest role before with Spider-Man. And, well, you know, with certain people, myself included, see Yuri as the definitive version of Spider-Man. And he is, in my opinion, because he's freaking amazing.
Trashing a gas station.
Really? Come on, Clint. We gotta freaking grapple this thing. There you go. Thank you, Jesus. Yeah, you know, so I would instead, I'm trying to think of like certain voice. Ooh, no, I got it. Nope, already perfect. And no, it's not just because I heard him today during the Square Enix presentation. It's legitimately that I've been playing Persona 5 Strikers recently, and he's one of my favorite characters in the game who plays Yusuke Fox in the game. Matthew Mercer as Daredevil. Yes, please. That would be the perfect choice. I would love that so, so much. He would knock it out of the park.
That hurts.
I'm not even focusing on the story because we're just beating robots, but apparently Clint has a headache and we're in the future. That's all I know.
All this time can't be good for us.
I am reading the subtitles though, don't worry. But no, Troy Baker is the instant obvious choice for Daredevil. No. Matt Mercer. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. What's going on here?
That's the Hawkeye brand.
Hey, that's my symbol. That's my logo. So when is Spidey coming? I don't know, Big B. I wish I knew, but they clearly didn't want to talk about it during the
Can anyone hear me?
presentation. So we'll just have to keep waiting.
Bot's got me pinned by the truck near the road.
Who is that? He sounds just like me. Unless it's not future Hawkeye, but I think it is. Najee's high-pitched Miles voice as Batman, made by Fortnite. Wow, Jill, you're a madman. Yes, let's see, a Moon Knight game that's a first-person shooter made by frickin' Atlas, who's the developers of Persona 5. Like, just something crazy like that, you know, like, makes no sense. That's like the meme going around, like, oh, Insomniac should have done Avengers because it's better. Like, no, because Crystal Dynamics makes a good game. What you should be saying is Square Enix should have made a better Avengers game. Not that you should have got a completely different studio. It's just that they should have made the, you know, image of what it is better and refined compared to what we have now. Let's see. I was surprised that Spider-Man wasn't in their loadout that they posted, or the layout that they posted. Yeah, David Ramirez. Yeah, for the roadmap, you mean? Yeah. Kareem, whoa. Oh, robots. Even though I don't want to see Thanos, it'd be cool if he was actually in the game. That'd be amazing. Maybe. Again, that's too MCU-esque. Don't make it like anything like the movies. That's why I'm fine with MODOK being the villain. But the problem was he wasn't an effective villain. Because they kind of, you know, cucked him at the end. Like, oh, haha, it wasn't really MODOK, it was Monica the whole time. Psych, so why promote him the entire time? Like, AIM's the big threat. AIM's the real threat. MODOK's the leader of AIM. No, it's really the Scientist Supreme, Monica. Like, okay, so MODOK's just one and done? Like, what? Like, there's a difference between false marketing and hiding a surprise. Like, Spider-Man PS4 marketing was fantastic. It's literally one of the best games that's ever been marketed with how they promoted it. Because they said, flat out, that Martin Lee is not the main villain of the game. They confirmed that to, you know, temper your expectations. Or, like, clarify, like, no, even though we are showing a lot of Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, he's not the main villain. There's someone else leading the front on all this. And, of course, the Sinister Six, we got Electro, Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, Mr. Negative, who's a member of the team in the game's universe, and then the leader. And then they kind of did the fake out with the rotors, or like the light shining on Spider-Man's face, and we heard like turbine engines, like, oh, is that the glider? Is that Green Goblin? And like, wait, you? And they're like, oh, we won't reveal. Brian Intar, you know, well, I'm never going to reveal where Peter works. So getting the excitement, learning about, ooh, well, where does Peter work? That gets me intrigued to learn more about the game. And instead, they just go out and reveal their big surprise, you know, in Avengers, like, oh, it's MODOK. That's it. He's the villain. Like, okay, great. There's no build-up, there's no reveal, there's nothing like, okay, yeah, AIM. Who's the leader of AIM? MODOK. We knew this since day one. If you're a comic fan, you'll know this. Like, even if you're a general consumer, like, that's not really a surprise. Like, okay, MODOK. Who's MODOK? Like, you know, most people don't even know who MODOK is. And even with Spider-Man, you know, oh, for the entire time, even in the CGI trailer, even, you know, the big launch trailer, CG final big budget commercial for Spider-Man PS4 was Spider-Man versus Mr. Negative. And they, like, he's not the main villain, but he's like our core guy we're promoting because we don't want to reveal the surprise. And who do you see at the beginning of the game after, you know, defeating Kingpin? Otto Octavius. Oh my god, it's Dr. Octopus. One of the most iconic Spider-Man villains of all time. It's fantastic. Here, just frickin', oh, MODOK and AIM, robots, okay, sure, whatever, done. What? There's no excitement, there's no build-up. Oh, Taskmaster, Abomination, and MODOK. That's it, bye-bye. No, we need, like, the Kree. That was a surprise, I suppose, with the Kree Sentry. Not a Sentinel, which a lot of people are still thinking it's a Sentinel. It's not, because they don't have the rights to the X-Men. It is a Kree Sentry with an alien race related to that whole front, with Captain Marvel supposedly going to be included down the line, too. And maybe Ronan the Accuser as well. That's another thing that could relate to this whole expansion.
Let's hurry before there's no one to talk to.
But that doesn't get people intrigued about what it is. Like, the same thing, like, the only reason, again, to go on another tangent, Far From Home only made $1 billion because of Endgame, Avengers Endgame. They wanted to see how Phase 3 would end. Endgame literally is the highest, I guess now it's back to Avatar, you know, the James Cameron movie, as the highest grossing film of all time. But at the time, it was Avengers Endgame. They wanted to see where the franchise could go. And that's where Spider-Man came in, and that's why it made over $1 billion to finalize the cap off of Phase 3. But the trailer's like, oh my god, Mysterio is this super cool, you know, hero that Spider-Man's gonna team up with, and isn't he the Elementals are the real villain, right? And the multiverse. Like, no! If you know anything about the comics, he's a liar, he's a scumbag, he's lying through his frickin' teeth, it's not real. Mysterio's fake. He's a scumbag. He's a scammer, and it's not true. Like, so we knew that Mysterio's the villain. So that it didn't surprise anyone when he like turned on Peter midway through the movie with Edith and everything. It's like, oh my god, everything that I thought was gonna happen happened. So the same thing. Oh, MODOK is the villain. Okay, you're showing me fighting MODOK. Okay. Why are you continuously showing me stuff that is already going to be... Like, save stuff for the experience, you know? Like, let me enjoy the product that you're making and leave surprises in there for me to enjoy for the first time. Not like, oh, what you already showed me is going to play out, the only difference now is I'm the one playing it. Like, no. It should be like, oh my god, I never expected this. This is crazy. And everything that... No, it's just, it's poorly executed, could have been done way better. For the marketing for this game, is what my whole point was trying to be. Ghosty, Marvel's Doctor Strange game made by Remedy Games, and the character voiced by Liam O'Brien. Yes, I've been begging for this since day one, and it was rumored. So this, unlike the Guardians game, which was leaked, officially leaked, you know, by developers and the actual, you know, scheduling that they have going on in their pipeline, a Guardians game is happening. It's not like, oh, is it going to happen? Could the game happen? No. It is officially been leaked that the next project that the Square Enix Marvel partnership is going to be is a Guardians game of the Galaxy. But the Doctor Strange game made by Remedy has been rumored forever now. And literally, just like I was saying, the, you know, LA Noire meets Spider-Man for a Daredevil game is what I want Doctor Strange to be. A horror, thriller, action-adventure, single-player oriented, level-based Doctor Strange game with casting spells and powers and the... maybe multiverse and just crazy visuals, and made by Remedy Games, who if you guys don't know, made Alan Wake, which is a great game, super horror-oriented and story-driven, and recently Control. Control's also super visually appealing and trippy as all hell. So make them make an Avengers, Doctor Strange game, and it would be amazing. It would be absolutely incredible. Knock it out of the park if they were to do that. Let's see, Azrael Reyes. A Punisher game would be dope as hell, and John Bernthal should voice the character. I would be down for that, except no John Bernthal, because again, this is not supposed to be the same one from, you know, the Netflix show. Even though I love John Bernthal as Punisher, he literally is Punisher to me. I still want change. I want differentiation. I want variety amongst these products. Like, that's the same thing, like, that's the problem that I have with, you know, again, with the, oh, Servants of the Supreme Leader. I thought they almost said the Serpent Society for a second.
All we know is they control.
Do they mean the Scientist Supreme or something else? Oh, they're talking about Maestro, Supreme Leader. Well, I was saying, you know, with Peter in Spider-Man PS4, he didn't look anything like Tobey. He didn't look anything like Andrew Garfield. He didn't look anything like Tom Holland like he does now. He was his own thing. And same thing with Yuri. That was his own version of Spider-Man. That's why even if you hear Yuri Lowenthal, which he's such a badass, by the way, when you hear Yuri Lowenthal in interviews talk about Spider-Man PS4, he says, oh, my favorite suit in the game is the advanced suit because not only do I think it looks incredible, but I also feel like I have some ownership to it because that is my character. And he's absolutely right. That is him as Spider-Man. That's his Peter. And it is incredible. So that's why John, that was their Peter. And now having this weird Uncanny Valley thing with Ben Jordan as Peter in the remaster on PS5 makes it look strange. Like, I wouldn't have wanted, even if it looked like Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, I want to be their own thing. That's why I'm fine with Tony not being voiced by Robert Downey Jr. or Captain America not voiced by Chris Evans. You know, like, I don't care about that because it's new and it's their own take and it's original. That's fine. The problem is when you try to make it similar to that thing you're trying to be different from. So like, oh, we're not like the MCU, yet we're going to do our very best to mimic the MCU in every way possible. So you're giving me mixed signals, you're not following through on your statements, and none of it makes any sense. So that's why I'm not a fan of the face change. That's why I'm not a fan of how the writing is in the Avengers game. And that's why I hope by the time that, especially when Black Panther comes out, for Wakanda, he's nothing like Chadwick Boseman. And no disrespect to Chadwick Boseman. He's an incredible actor. He did an amazing job as T'Challa, but again, that was his own version of the character. Step away from that and do your own thing. Do something completely different that does the character itself justice from the comics. Not the movies, which were based from said comics, but the comics where the characters come from. And that's the whole point. And that's all I'm hoping for Hawkeye, for Kate Bishop, for Spider-Man when he gets added in this game, for Captain Marvel, for frickin' She-Hulk, for War Machine, for Falcon, whoever else is included. Just be good. Let's see. Mr. Nazir, would it be kind of cool if you switched to the black suit too much? Peter would eventually stop you, saying that's taking him over. That would be cool. That's a bit too close to Web of Shadows, though, where you have... Or, not Web of Shadows. Funny enough, Spider-Man 3 on the PS2 actually had the same mechanic where you could transition between the red suit and the black suit freely, but over time, the black suit would affect Peter, like, oh, you know, it's taking me over, I gotta take it off. And I love that about the game. I thought it was a really cool feature. But, what I was trying to say with Web of Shadows is that there's alternate endings. So, I don't think we're in the spot for Insomniac's games where we're getting different storylines. I think they already have a main storyline set out for the game. It's just that they are going to do something really encapsulating with Harry as Venom and Peter gaining the black suit through Harry and not Eddie, you know? So again, different changes, nothing like the movies, nothing like the comics, something completely different, and I'm all for that. I love it to death, and it's incredible for Spider-Man and Insomniac's universe. But yeah, if they do anything like that for Peter, where you gotta like struggle to get the black suit off, I'm down. I'm so down. I'd be up for it. Ahmed Nadeem, Spider-Man No Way Home, what are your thoughts? Nothing so far, because I need to see it to believe it. You know, I do not believe any of the casting rumors, not news, because it's not confirmed, but the rumors of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in this movie. Absolutely no way. The only thing that we do know for sure that's confirmed is Jamie Foxx as Electro, you know, Max Dillon, is in this game, and Alfred Molina is also back playing Doc Ock. Or supposedly Doc Ock, there was a rumor saying he's not, he's actually going to be playing Senator Kelly, which is weird because that relates more to the X-Men than Spider-Man, although it was confirmed by Kevin Feige that mutants are going to be involved within MCU Phase 4, and this is going to be part of Phase 4, so who knows on that front, but mainly for the movie itself, I'm not hyped at all for it until I see a trailer. And even then, I'm going to be probably really ball-busting on it because you guys know me. Far From Home is my least favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. I hate that movie with my heart and soul. I think it sucks monkey butt. And I was not a fan of how they handled the portrayal of MJ or Peter's characters in the movie because of how much they backtracked from what Homecoming was. And I need to be, again, different that makes Peter his own individual character. And not under, again, the shadow of Iron Man. Which was the lesson that he learned in Homecoming, where, oh, I gotta step out of Iron Man's shadow. I am my own guy. That's why I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and staying close to the ground. And then by freaking, you know, Far From Home, he kind of falls in that same trap again. Like, oh, I gotta go back to, I can't live up to the next Iron Man. I'm not like that. Like, what did you just learn by the end of Homecoming? And throughout Infinity War, when you know, were fighting alongside of him? Like, you are your own guy. Just be your own guy. Don't worry about anyone else. Just do your own thing. So now, Iron Man's gone. I love, you know, Iron Man in the movies, of course, for Robert Downey Jr. and his character as well is just great, but stop connecting Spider-Man so much to Iron Man. Let him breathe on his own. And I just need them to do something truly engaging for Peter's character if he's included in No Way Home with other Spider people, because Doctor Strange is going to be in this movie now. That's also confirmed. Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange is in this movie with 2 villains for sure confirmed right now. There's rumors about Kraven the Hunter. We'll see about that. I gotta love the slow-mo of Hawkeye getting blasted away from the enemies. But yeah, none of the like multiverse Spider-Verse stuff I believe yet. I don't buy it for a second, and I have to see it to believe it once we get a trailer and they show them in their suits or whatever happens, happens. But yeah, right now I'm just waiting for a trailer. I'm not going to make videos about the movie with theories or anything because I don't care, and I'm not as inclined to be invested in the movie compared to like the sequel for Spider-Man in the games. And I just hope it can not be as horrible as what Far From Home was.
it comes to Fury, nothing.
But now, so far, it sounds too bloated, is my problem. And again, I'm not a fan of the characterization of Zendaya as MJ in this movie at all, and her relationship with Peter just makes no sense to me. It came out of nowhere. It doesn't feel genuine in the slightest. It feels like, not forced, but just in the sense it's like really bad writing for a character. Just like, there's no development for her. She's like, oh, she was a jerk in Homecoming. She was super, you know, antisocial and distant towards Peter. She kind of acted friendly towards him in the end. He tried to get with Liz throughout the entire time in Homecoming, and then by the end of that movie, he felt bad leaving Liz because of what happened to Adrian Toomes. You know, Michael Keaton is the Vulture. And then all of a sudden, in Far From Home, like, hey, Ned, you know MJ? Yeah, I'm going to go try and get with her during our European trip. Like, where the hell did this come from? Like, I don't know. There was no build-up to that. It made no sense, and it feels super, super weird. I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. Let's see any Easter eggs of Spider-Man or something in here. We miss you, guy in glasses. Yes. Where's Peter Parker? Watch it not even be Peter. What if they do something crazy like, hey, Spider-Man, and it's like Miguel O'Hara or something, or even crazier, it's like freaking like another universe, Flash Thompson. Like, whoa, crazy. Oh yeah, sorry, Gil, you're right. Oh, my apologies. It's not even MJ. It's Michelle Jones. Oh yes, my favorite character from the Spider-Man mythos, and Ned Leeds or Genki Lee, who literally is played by Jacob Batalon, I think his name is, who's literally Genki. It's not Ned, it's not Michelle, or Mary Jane, it's Michelle and Genki. It's who those characters are. Alright, Resistance members, what's up? How's it going? Who should voice Moon Knight if he had a video game? From Azriel Reyes. Great question, and very tough one. So right now, currently in the MCU, we know that, what's his name? Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight, which is a great choice. For a voice actor, it has to be someone very, like, wholesome sounding, or, like, very conveying with their words and dialect when it comes to talking about things that are above the standard norm. And I think a voice actor who can do that properly is, like I said previously, Matt Mercer, who's freaking-tastic in everything he does, but I cast him for Daredevil, so I would want him to remain as Daredevil. There's Nick Fury. Let's see. For Moon Knight, definitely a deeper voice than like a lighter tone person. By the way, my favorite part, which I did see, you know, they showed this in the presentation today, From the Future! What a great new villain, who we've only fought 1,000,000 times by now. Freaking awesome. Nuts. Yeah, David Ramirez, the voice actor for Moon Knight Web of Shadows, was pretty good. He was really good. I think he did a great job, but where the heck are we? Did we teleport just instantly out of the... Where the hell did we go? Okay. Yeah, Moon Knight voice actor. Huh, that's a good question. I gotta think about that one for a while. Ooh, wait a minute. And it might just because I have Persona 5 on the brain, but that whole voice cast is so compelling and so good. Like, if you don't buy into that voice cast, you're not going to enjoy the game for Persona. Like, the whole point of the game is the characters. So, if you're not a fan of the characters, you're not going to like the game. But all the characters are so good in Persona that it literally just makes you want to see how all their stories continue. So, for me, I would say, I forget his name, but the person who voices Sojiro in Persona 5, he may be a bit older, but he does have a deeper voice. And he can pull off some younger characters. And Moon Knight's a very, like, stoic, you know, been around a while character, like, in that kind of mindset. Like, he's been a wanderer, pretty much. Like, he kind of has seen a lot of stuff. He's very grounded in that regard. So I would choose the voice actor for Sojiro to do Moon Knight. Franco knows me best, bro. Akira and Kasumi. Yep, that's canon. Which, by the way, if you play Persona 5 Strikers, they literally do me such a solid by pretty much saying that Kasumi and Akira are straight up canon. Not on Not Makoto, not Haru, even though I love Haru. Not frickin' Kawakami, not Chihaya, not Oya, who's the worst character in the whole Persona 5 game. Nope, it is our boy, our boy Akira, and our main perfect person to be with us is Kasumi.
I don't know.
It's fantastic. If you guys don't know, if you guys haven't played Persona, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, but just play Persona 5 Royal specifically. You're alive and you have Tony's hair. Interesting. Let's see. Michael Courtney, hey Evan, what if the voice of Spawn from Mortal Kombat 11 voices Moon Knight? Is that, ooh, wait, so you mean, oh, God, what's his name? Keith Davidson? Is that his name? That would be great, actually, but I guess actually no, because they're in the same realm, like a deeper, stoic-sounding voice. That's exactly right, yeah. Keith Davidson, I think that's his name?
Wait a second. What did you mean with you're alive?
What do you mean, Kate? You're dead.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's the future and everyone's gone, except Taskmaster, who's still here for some reason.
Everyone's just been dead for decades.
Okay, so everyone's kaput. Great.
The dystopian future wasn't depressing enough already.
Yeah, well, we're here to stop it. So, where do we start? Let's get back to the hideout.
Punk. All right.
SIM card is a godsend. We know Fury got involved in
Let's see.
Omega right before the war. I'm sure
Omega level threats? Yeah.
How long have you been looking?
Maybe. We'll see.
Since it all went to hell. I'd retired just like we planned. Then Fury came working for me. Wanted me to help him fight the coming war.
Retired? When?
After we resolve all this business with Project Omega, I was gonna tell you, all right? If it helps. Didn't go well when I told her either.
I cannot believe you're leaving us.
Uh-oh.
Or left, or whatever. I mean, but you came back, right? To help us fight the Kree?
I didn't. Told Fury that I was washed up. That you didn't need me.
Of course we need you.
Look, I won't try to justify it now. It's one of a long
Tension.
Since the war, I've been searching for Fury. To see if I can...
Always a war.
So,
Let's see.
What's our plan here? We've pinned the location from the data you brought us. Substation 99.
Okay. Is that a new,
Fury's last known location.
base?
There's only one way to be sure.
Fine, let's get moving.
All right.
We'll talk about it when this is over.
Ooh, she's mad. Great. Let's see. MLB Speedy, what's your favorite Spider-Man game? It's kind of obvious. Oh, Jill, I'm gonna head out. Stay amazing, Spider-Man. Bye, Jill. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the stream. Means a lot. Have a good day. Thanks for your amazing story, too, about the costume.
If we figure out where Fury
The advanced suit. That was great. MLB, you probably know this already. A little game called Marvel's Spider-Man by Insomniac Games. It's, you know, I don't know if you played it or anything, but yeah, that's my favorite Spider-Man game of all time. Second, though, if that game didn't exist, I would say Web of Shadows. Let's see, Ghosty. Peter Parker being related to Tony Stark, Ned Leeds acting like Genki, Zendaya as Michelle Jones, and No Mary Jane. Like, what the F is going on? Exactly. This is not my Spider-Man that I know and love and grew up with, and I'm sure it isn't yours either. Or at least if you're a fan of the comics, you'll know that. Like it's saying, okay. Let me break it down like this. The popular as visualized him along the next few years to give him a different type of personality, and you know, of course, with the game did a great job, and Into the Spider-Verse, making him an artist or a music producer, and making him his own thing, right? So that's the difference between like a legacy character that's new and different, that respects the old and embraces the new and honors the mantle of Spider-Man, but it's not Peter Parker, and someone new, right? Versus what the MCU did is completely get the character wrong. Like, oh, who am I describing right now? For example, like while I upgrade Hawkeye, a kid in a dark alley sees a guy with a gun. Both of his parents get shot right in front of him. That way, he is traumatized for life. He's all alone. He has no one with him but his butler to take care of him as he continues to grow up feeling this sadness and depression throughout his entire life until he decides, to take justice into his own hands and fight criminals in his own way as a vigilante. Who am I describing? Write in the comments right now, that exact description who I was describing. Who am I talking about? Put your answer in the comments right now. I'm sure all you know exactly who I'm talking about. Let's see, challenge card, and I'll look at this stuff while I see answers. See, cosmetics, I'll stick with that. I don't want to get that bald look, no thank you. I'll stick with the suit I have on now. Best gear, great. I got some epic stuff, stats, whatever, who cares. Skills, I just did more of the primary stuff, because I'm going to do that first. Great, okay, so cool. The majority of people said Batman. Wrong, it's Wonder Woman. Guys, no, you thought I was talking about Batman, the Dark Knight, the world's greatest detective, like any normal person would say? No, I'm talking about Wonder Woman. Or no, I'm talking about Thor. I'm talking about frickin' Spider-Ham. No, like, that's exactly what they're doing. Ned Leeds is nothing like Genki Lee in the comics, and yet, that's who they're labeling him as in the MCU. So same thing, Peter Parker has traits that are similar to Peter Parker in the MCU, and it's not Tom Holland's fault because he's doing the best with what he's given. But the characterization of Peter within this iteration of him in the MCU is nothing like how we know Peter in the comics, especially relating to his relationship with Iron Man. If you look back at previous interviews with Andrew Garfield, he was asked back before the MCU Spider-Man was a thing, saying, who would you want to see Spider-Man team up with in the MCU? And he's like, well, he probably wouldn't get along well with Tony Stark because he's really arrogant and, you know, self-serving, and Spider-Man's more, you know, about the people and more about caring about others and standing up for what's right for everyone. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. And that's why he understands the character of Spider-Man. He understands who Peter is and who he is not with and associating with in the comics. So, who I just described, that is Batman to a T, right? But what they're trying to do is say, hey, you know this character who's acting a lot like Miles Morales in his shoes, trying to live up to the legacy of a now dead hero? Spider-Man died in the comics, Miles Morales took his place. Iron Man died in the MCU, Spider-Man's trying to take his place. You see what I'm getting at? So, that is not who Peter Parker is. That's not his character, just like how Michelle Jones is nowhere close to MJ, Mary Jane, and Genki Leeds. I even mixed their names together. That was completely unintentional. But you see, now I'm getting in a trap myself because they're exactly the same. Ned Leeds is Genki Lee from the comics, who Jacob Batalon is playing in the movies. That's not Ned, that's Genki. And I would have been fine if they actually just had Peter interacting with Ned. You know, with Genki from the character of Jacob, and if he was actually just Genki from the comics and talked to Peter, that would be better than completely misinterpreting an entire character. And because if you also know, Ned Leeds in the comics eventually becomes the Hobgoblin. So you're telling me Jacob Batalon's going to be the Hobgoblin in, like, Spider-Man MCU Phase 4? No, because that's not his character. That's not who he's playing. No matter how many times they try to tell you he's Ned Leeds, it's not. I'm telling you that right now. So it's ridiculous. Gabriel Rangel, do you think MCU Spider-Man is more like Miles then? Yes. Yes, I do. Ghost, to reiterate what I just finished describing, yes, I do. Ghosty, sorry, not too fond of MCU Spidey. Nothing against Tom Holland. Everything he was working on those movies. But Spider-Man is not really my thing. I agree. And if you like him, more power to you. I'm very happy for you. But it's not who I personally interpret as Spider-Man. Who I interpret as Spider-Man is literally the pinnacle of perfection that Insomniac crafted. No, that's not just a show for them, because I do have major problems with the, you know, with elements of, like I've been very vocal, of course, about the face change, so I will call them out on stuff when I don't like it. But the character of Peter Parker in that game is Peter Parker. That is one of the best iterations of that character I've ever seen. It's my personal favorite. It represents who he is and what he represents perfectly. And just like, again, the same thing can be said for also the comics. The Ultimate Spider-Man comics, one of the best comic runs of all time. One of the most well-known also of Ultimate Peter Parker. And his run by Brian Michael Bendis, and even some elements of the Andrew Garfield movies understand Peter's character, but that's why I'm not too fond of those movies either, because, like, well, that is a good version of Peter, but not, like, the most accurate to who he really is and kind of what we know of him from the comics. And even the Raimi films, like, each version of the character from movies and games gets things right and wrong. I just think out of all of them that we've seen so far, even though I grew up with the Tobey movies, my favorite version of Spider-Man in any form of media is still from the game, because that is who Peter Parker is. That's why, with the Avengers game, I think Kamala Khan, my most favorite version of her, is from this game, because Sandra Saad did an incredible job. The writing for her character was pretty good. The campaign was well executed enough. It's just that the structure of the game, with how it's set up as like this live service mixed with single player co-op elements, didn't do it enough service as how much it should have done. So that's just really disappointing to see it kind of flop in the way it has been recently. But for like perfect versions from like the movies and stuff, like of course it's so hard to disassociate Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, because he is Iron Man. Like the whole final moment of Endgame with you know, the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos and all that, and the war and all that was incredible. Where he says, like, his final words are, "I am Iron Man." And that whole, you know, decade-long journey of films to solidify his portrayal of the character and the journeys we went on with him and stuff, no, he is literally, like, you can't beat him, you know? But the same thing could be said for you guys who are fans of Tobey, or Andrew, or Tom. Like, Tom is the greatest Spider-Man of all time, and that's totally fine if you think that, because that's your own perspective, and that's your preference of who you like as the character. Just like me, like, I prefer Yuri, but that's not saying that, oh, Yuri's version is a factual, the best version of the character. That's not me saying it's a fact, that's just saying who I prefer. So, it differs from person to person, and it also matters to see whether or not their stories can continue in a good way or a bad way. Because sometimes, oh, they set up a character really well in the first game, and then, or a movie or whatever, and then sometimes they kind of get the character wrong in the next thing. Like, it changes. You know, the comics are the exact same thing, too. Freaking Dan Slott. Look how much flack he gets all the time with his version of Spider-Man. And I've been on record saying I despise the Superior Spider-Man storyline. Some people might actually like it. I'm not a fan of it. But, I think I'm mainly not a fan of it because of the repercussions it set forth. Like, Nick Spencer and some of the writers at Marvel are still, to this day, trying to rectify what Superior Spider-Man did. So that should tell you all you need to know. So I like what the intentions were for Superior Spider-Man. He learns this big lesson, of course, like, wow, you know, Peter really is the Superior Spider-Man. I could never live up to how heroic he is and what he's done and what he sacrificed to save people. But, oh, I'm, you know, Dr. Octopus, so I'm going to do that but better and be better as Spider-Man than he could ever be. But then he learns in time, like, oh, Peter actually is the one who's the real hero in this story because of what he understands what it means to be there for others and be there for the ones who need him. And that's such a touching point. But doing nonsensical stuff like making Black Cat a mob boss and the whole relationship with Mary Jane just kind of went kaput, and then he went with Anna Marie, I think her name is, the science lady, the short science lady, you know what I'm talking about if you know read the comics. Anna Marie, I think her name is. But no, I'm not a fan of the Superior storyline. I like the suit though. I think the suit's cool. If we could get a suit like that in the sequel, I'd be down for it for Spider-Man, or maybe even in this game if they want to go that route. But who knows? Yeah. But you see what I'm trying to say? I'm sorry I went on that huge rant. And again, I'm not trying to diss you guys for liking the MCU. If you like it, I'm very happy for you. I'm just saying, in short, those movies are not for me. That version of Spider-Man is not for me. And the film, No Way Home, is not really garnering any hype for me as of right now. I need to wait and see. And I'm hoping that it can turn things around and give us a story worthy of the Spider-Man name. That's all I can hope for. Let's see. Michael Courtney, Moon Knight's actually my second favorite Marvel character of all time now behind Spider-Man. Nice. Yeah. Characters like Moon Knight, I think, are going to work really well as a Disney Plus show. Because I think he's getting a show, not a movie. and seeing his version in that universe is going to be very cool to see. William Patterson does feel different playing with Hawkeye and defeated new enemies. Do you mean you think that, or are you asking me? If you think that, that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying his content. Me, I'm able to talk while playing, while tuning everything out, because this game is so formulaic. You just go in, defeat robots, traverse around the area, get loot, grind for gear, move on to the next area. That's all the game is. And I'm not having too much fun. I'm just trying to see where the story goes. But nothing about it's like, yes, oh my god, I've been waiting for this for so long. This is exactly what I was waiting for. Not for me, sorry. Just kind of in the sense, like, I hope that the next stuff with Black Panther and whoever they decide to include next time is more worth the wait. Let's see. Nathaniel Curley, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, dude. Do I think there will be a Daredevil game? I sure as hell hope there's one, but I don't know for sure if they're going to make one. Bill Roseman and Troy Baker, for the longest time, have been teasing, or at least indicating that they want to make one. Troy Baker himself has said on record saying, I will play Daredevil. If we are able to get a single-player Daredevil game, he will be playing Daredevil. Like, that's his dream role, pretty much, it sounds like. So, I'm down for it. That sounds incredible to me. But as for how long they can kind of hold out on stuff, we will wait and see. Especially with their content, to see if they're actually worth our time. Or if it is worth our time. Exactly, David Ramirez. That's what I hate about this game. Everything in Marvel's Avengers is the same old stuff. That's exactly right, David. You're absolutely correct. And that's what I was trying to say previously. I think I brought it up with saying, like, it's the same content with a fresh coat of paint. You can't polish a turd because it's still a turd. So, I'm not trying to say Marvel's Avengers is crap. I'm just saying there's a lot more that can be done to make it better. It's certainly not making me hyped to play this right now. It's just that, wow, they could have done a lot more to actually enhance the experience rather than continue with what they've been doing for months now. And that's a problem. What the heck is going on? Turret. MLB, Norman Osborn is evil in Marvel's Spider-Man. We will see. We will see. He's very behind the scenes, MLB Spidey. But he's not Green Goblin yet, so we'll have to wait and see with how that goes. Sam Raimi, or Ghosty says, Sam Raimi loved Spider-Man. Mark Webb understood Spider-Man as the character to a certain capacity, but John Watts just doesn't get him like at all. Agreed. If you've seen interviews with John Watts, it doesn't sound like he's on the same page. Not to say that, again, and I'm not like, oh, Spider-Man Far From Home sucks because it's not directed by Sam Raimi. No, because I've even said I'm not the biggest fan of Spider-Man 3, and the Sam Raimi films aren't even my favorite version of Spider-Man. My favorite version of Spider-Man is from the game. Although my favorite Spider-Man movie is the first Sam Raimi movie, but that's because I think it's, like, the greatest, like, origin story that we've seen for, like, a superhero film. It's, like, iconic at this point. But I'm saying that the director behind the overall perception of this character, understanding the traits of who he is and what he represents and what he stands for, doesn't grasp the entire concept of Peter Parker compared to a director like Sam Raimi or Mark Webb. Now, I'm not saying, oh, No Way Home should be directed by Sam Raimi or else the game's garbage. No, I'm saying that... Why is this blocked out? I'm trying to interact with this thing. Well, okay, they just jump over that. All right. I'm just saying that do your research. You know, Brian Intihar and Bill Roseman are literally two of the most passionate individuals I've ever had the privilege of meeting. They are so down to earth with what makes Spider-Man special. They know to the nth degree who Spider-Man is. And Brian Horton as well, who is the creative director of Miles Morales, who's the same thing with that. Like, oh, you know, you wouldn't make... you wouldn't turn Miles Morales into Captain America because that makes no sense because Miles is nothing like Captain America. Just like Peter Parker and Miles Morales are completely different. They're nothing like one another. They are their own individuals. So that's why Ned Leeds should not be trying to imitate Genki. That's why Michelle Jones should not be trying to imitate what I would say is more similar to actually the ultimate version of Gwen Stacy. Who's kind of more a bit of a punk, kind of more secluded. If anything, she's more reserved. She does have the whole storyline, of course, with her dead dad. That's the classic Gwen Stacy story, but it's new and fresh. But saying, oh, Michelle Jones, okay, But then MJ. Oh, my friends call me MJ. So who are you? I don't know who you are. You are not a character in this movie who is a legitimate person. You are someone who is being fabricated to be a ploy as a character connection to Peter in these movies, in the MCU. Like, oh my god, MJ, you know, he has to have an MJ, because that's his go-to person. Like, that's why, like, why not just freaking, you know, reminder, by the way, Betty Brant is in the MCU. That's Angeline Rice? I forget her name, but the blonde girl who Ned dated in Far From Home was Betty Brant. And they've done nothing with her character. One of the most iconic characters, one of the most empowering as well. Very independent, very empowering female-led characters in Spider-Man media. And it's Betty Brant, and they just use her as like some little side, you know, fling for Ned. Like, oh, we just dated. That was it. Like, what? It's so nonsensical and stupid. Like, even with MJ, like, okay, you're Michelle Jones, so be Michelle Jones. Who is Michelle Jones? I don't know. My friends call me MJ. Okay, what does that mean? Have you had bad experiences with friends in the past? Have you had a friend who called you MJ and you weren't friends anymore? Like, I want to know more about you. I would like to know more about you, but you're just this caricature of a person who's not real. And Zendaya is a fantastic actress. Watch Euphoria. And not the garbage movie that just came out with John David Washington, though, that Malcolm and Me or whatever? Malcolm and Marie, whatever it is, that movie is a dumpster fire, so please don't watch that. But that's mainly, again, because of the writing. It's because the writing of these movies aren't good. Not because the actress is bad. Not because Zendaya is a bad actress. Nope, it's because the material that they are given are not doing justice to their characters. And that's my whole point. Alright, David Ramirez. I feel like Peter and Betty would have been an interesting relationship. At least it's a lot better than Michelle. Yep, agreed. Same thing, like, if you're Michelle, be Michelle. Or, maybe, if you want to introduce a character that's never been in the, you know, movies before, because we saw Elizabeth Banks as Betty Brant in the Raimi movies, so we already have her character. Instead, I don't know how a rock came up in midair, though, that makes no sense. Instead, why don't you do Carly Cooper? Why don't you do Cindy Moon? Silk, you know? Why don't you hint towards other characters that you can utilize as side characters for your main cast that can build off of them with ease? I would have preferred it maybe if she's like, I knew it, you know, you were Spider-Man, I called it. You know why? Because she's Carly Cooper. She's an investigative, like, reporter. She's like not a, you know, cop, but she's like, you know, on the prowl looking for info. Kind of like, you know, looking for the scoop. Not like Daily Bugle Mary Jane, which again, same thing. Like Mary Jane, I will be fair on the other note, Mary Jane in Spider-Man PS4 is not necessarily the comic book Mary Jane that we know of. She's not a supermodel, she's not an actress, she is a reporter for the Daily Bugle. But that's because they want to take her and her past and incorporate it with Peter's overall progression with his story, where he worked for the Bugle, but now he's not working for them anymore. Instead, he's progressing as a scientist. So instead, Mary Jane, wanting to partake more in Spider-Man's life and be there for him as a partner, wants to be more active, so in turn, she's becoming more independent, being a reporter at the Daily Bugle, instead of a supermodel or an actress that he needs to save 24/7. She still needs saving, but there's more depth to her, and it feels natural. But it still isn't exactly who we know Mary Jane to be. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So with Michelle Jones, it's just not for me. And it's a lack of identity is what it is. Ghosty. By the way, Brian Antar is a hero and made me love Spider-Man once again. Hi, Insomniac and everyone else. That's amazing. Thank you, Ghosty. Hopefully they are watching. If anyone from Marvel Games or Insomniac or whoever's watching, thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you for over 60 people in the stream. Means a lot. Hopefully you're doing okay. Hopefully you're enjoying the Hawkeye DLC if you are playing it. Hopefully you're having a relaxing Thursday afternoon. And also let me know your thoughts to see if you are currently enjoying Hawkeye or anything else. Kareem Muhammad, thoughts on Christopher Judge voicing Thanos if he isn't voicing Black Panther? Well, I hope Thanos is not in this game, because I don't want it to be anything like the MCU. The big bad currently seems like the Kree, and the leader of the Kree is usually Ronan, the Accuser, or if they want to go crazy, Galactus. I don't think so, though, but if they do Thanos, I'm gonna be pissed because like you're just now literally the MCU in game form, so I wouldn't be a fan of that. But if he does Thanos and Black Panther, I think that'd be cool. I would prefer it if it was someone else, you know, different voice actors for different characters. But Christopher Judge has the perfect voice for deeper, menacing Thanos. You know, that'd be cool. That's a great question, Jeff. I will tell you why I like Spider-Man so much. Huge backstory behind it. Let's see. David, I feel like releasing Kate and Hawkeye back-to-back was a mistake. It would not have been a mistake if they actually did release them back-to-back. If Kate came out in the delayed month of December, which she was supposed to come out in October, she got delayed to December. And now Hawkeye is out 3 months later. It would have been better if Kate came out in December and then Clint came out in January. That would have been back-to-back, and I would have been fine with it. That's 2 consecutive characters. You got content, waiting for the next drop. Having this be spanned out for 3 months is not worth it. And again, I think someone brought up previously, this story is just not easy to connect with. Absolutely agree. I really do not care what's going on right now, because this does not look like the future. It just looks like the same exact environment we've already explored in the canyon in the present day, just with more of a storm, I guess. And it just is not intriguing enough to warrant a 3-month time gap. Hey Evan, we need a Hawkeye game in the style of Tomb Raider, says Michael Courtney. That'd be cool. And again, that's the thing. Like, we can't get those games, sadly, because of this weird partnership we got going on with Square Enix. Okay, I got a new outfit, so for you guys who are into the cosmetics, I'll wear a different suit. Wait, did I get this suit? What's going on? Did I not unlock this? Oh, see? This is the stupid microtransaction stuff again. So look at this. I leveled up with level 1 and level 2. I unlocked a suit and some resources to help level up my character, but I forgot you have to pay with microtransactions to actually unlock the card in the first place. So I'm 500 units away from unlocking this stupid card so I can get the stuff that I should be able to acquire just by playing the game, but it's ridiculously stupid. So even though it says I unlocked the suit and resources, I can't fully acquire them until I spend money. That is pathetic. Especially when it's Marvel, when the game should sell itself. But, as you know, this game lost $67 million and did not able to acquire or recoup its developer costs. So, yeah. Yikes. But to answer Jeff's question, why do I like Spider-Man so much? So, I think I posted this on Twitter a couple days ago. When, I think it was either Taika Waititi or Zack Snyder himself, I think, who tweeted out asking, like, oh, with the release of the Snyder... No, I think it was Taika Waititi then, I'm pretty sure. He asked, oh, with the release of the Snyder Cut, you know, a movie that came out years ago that's now re-releasing on HBO Max and stuff, but for an older movie that's getting a new release, what movie would you like to see get re-released in theaters? And for me, I said Spider-Man 2002. You know, the first Tobey Maguire movie, and that whole film. Seeing that on a theater screen would probably make me cry, because if you guys don't know, the first experience I have to Spider-Man is from that movie. The first superhero Spider-Man movie from Sam Raimi is the first Tobey Maguire film, Spider-Man 2002. And even though, like I just said, that was my first ever exposure to Spider-Man as 4 years old in 2002 when that movie came out, on a VHS tape on an almost broken CRT TV, like a, you know, old school style, that was my first time seeing the movie, and yet it still changed my life forever. Seeing it in that poor quality on a smaller screen, not a theater or anything like that, but on a small TV, on a VHS tape with blurry visuals, still blew my mind. I knew exactly what was happening. It connected to me instantly, and it just, like, showed me what the possibilities are for, you know, just superhero storytelling in general. And then, of course, over time, I started to get more in tune with the comics and the games, of course, with Spider-Man 2000. Even though Spider-Man 2002 was my first Spider-Man game and movie, or vice versa, movie and game, you know, the Tobey Maguire movie tie-in game, and by Treyarch, and then the movie, you know, by Sam Raimi. those were my first experiences to the character. I still love the Insomniac version out of all of them the most. Because I think that is the true embodiment of who I believe Peter Parker to be amongst any other form of media. But with the movie, when it came out that long ago, that got me into, you know, movies and just superheroes in general. That was my first exposure to Marvel, really, is for that movie with Spider-Man. And then seeing that at such a young age, learning about the story, of course, with great power comes great responsibility, and just the overall lesson that you learn from that. And that doesn't just apply, like, of course, literally with superhero powers or being able to stick to walls or spider sense. It literally just means in general with, you know, Stan Lee's message, like, he's the everyman. Spider-Man is us that we relate to, and that's why his character has stood the test of time for however long it's been, 60 plus years, I think. And we're getting close to that, I believe. His 50-year anniversary, I remember, was in 2012 because that was when The Amazing Spider-Man 1 came out. So almost 60-year anniversary, I think, since then. But I digress, is that it doesn't mean just the lesson of with great power comes great responsibility for literally with powers of super strength or whatever. It literally is actually talking about you as a person. What are you good at, and utilizing your own beliefs and your own abilities to do good in the world. And that's why I love the story with the game, because that's exactly what Peter's doing as a scientist. That's why I find it so cool. He's using his great mind and his lovable heart to save people with his intellect. Instead of needing to be Spider-Man 24/7, he's moving on. He's helping evolve. He himself is evolving as a person and helping society grow and, you know, rehabilitate with his prosthetics, helping Otto with what they were trying to do. And that's why the ending got me so much, because that was his life. Him as a scientist, you know, trying to be just like his idol, his mentor, because it proved to him, I can help other people, not just as Spider-Man, but also just as me, as Peter. And I feel like that lesson is so important for people to learn, like me, Evan, or you, Michael, or you, Gabriel, you, Franco, you, Andrew, whoever, can do greatness and can achieve great things by just being you. And that's also the tagline for Miles, of course, is be yourself. And that's absolutely right. Just do you, be you, and be proud of who you are. That's kind of why I love the Persona games so much, is because that's literally the message of those games. And that's what Spider-Man is doing whenever he decides to put on his costume. He's just being himself, and no matter who gets on his case and causes him flack or whatever, he still stands up for what's right and cares about the ones he loves and is willing to do whatever it takes to help those that are in need, and just stand up for those who were in the same spot he was, you know, getting picked on at school, and who was less fortunate. He's poor, you know, and being in the position he is with the lesson that Uncle Ben taught him is saying that I can make sure that nothing like this ever happens again. Losing someone as close to him as his dad, pretty much, his father figure, Uncle Ben, and rising up against injustice to fight for things that are good in the world. And that's how powerful that story is for the first movie with, you know, Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi, and the game itself, and just the character of Spider-Man from the comics in general. That's who he represents, that's what he's always represented, and that's what I hope we start to see more of in these films, you know, going forward. And I don't think Far From Home, specifically, Homecoming was fine. It was different, so I'm willing to give it a pass, and there are some enjoyable moments in it. Vulture's a great villain too. But Far From Home is just disgusting in my opinion. I can't stand that movie. People can say all you want, like, Evan, it's great, there's good parts about it, you just don't understand. Okay, fine. You can think that, and I'm happy you enjoy it. But no, I hate that movie so much. Yeah, it's very, very strange to me why people are fond of that movie. And it's not strange why it's not strange to me why that movie made so much money, because again, the Endgame factor, it built off the hype of Endgame, continued the MCU Phase 3, it finalized the third, you know, Phase 3 of the MCU, and gave closure to Iron Man's death, sort of. So that makes sense to me why it made so much money. As for a movie that I think deserves more money than that is Into the Spider-Verse, for sure. How's this guy still around? Azrael Reyes, I love Moon Knight because he is handled differently in the comics, and isn't trying to be like Batman. He's a completely different person. Yeah. Or he is a complicated person. Yeah, very much so. Mark Spector, I think that's his name, right? Sorry, there's a fly in my face. Yeah, very, very complicated character that has a lot of depth to him, that can really be very well oriented if he's played further in the show, or if he's added maybe here in this game. Who knows? Ghosty Haven, will you tell us that sad story that you had with your PlayStation 5 on Twitter? I already did the beginning of the stream. You may have not been there, but yeah. So basically, I nearly got scammed out of a PlayStation 5 to send to this scumbag in Minnesota because the website looked almost identical to the PlayStation Direct website. It wasn't that, oh, I found it on eBay or, you know, frickin', I don't know, Radio Shack, like that store's dead. But, you know, just an example, a random third-party outlet. No, like, I thought it was literally on the exact PlayStation Direct website. It had all their official, like, legal jargon and, you know, Sony PlayStation trademarks and all that. Like, you know, contact, support, legal, all the little, you know, like, info bits that solidify, oh, yeah, that's the official site. You know, the copyright claim and all that. Oh, they're official. It had that on the website, but apparently there's two different websites. There's Sony PlayStation Direct and PlayStation Direct. So PlayStation Direct is the official website, and Sony PlayStation Direct is a fake website that looks exactly like it, which is a fake scam website. And they had a bundle of the PlayStation 5 physical, you know, disc version with Miles and Call of Duty and 2 PlayStation cards and 2 DualSense controllers for $500. So the price alone for that bundle probably should have been a first red flag, but it all looks so official, and I got, you know, a confirmation email like, yes, we're the official website with the trademark of PlayStation and all that, so of course, like, oh, I believe them, sure. And if it was a third-party site, I obviously wouldn't purchase it off of it, but of course it looks so legitimate that I thought, oh, well, sure, yeah, I'll go for it, because I want to play the PS5 for you guys, to do content for the channel, and also just, you know, finally see what the big difference is between the remaster and Miles from PS4 to PS5. And I was also planning to do a giveaway. I thought, oh, well, if I get the bundle, I'm not a big first-person shooter guy, and I already have the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition on the PS5. I got that on launch day, because whenever I do end up getting a PS5, I have the game with me. And I know you can do the free upgrade, but I wanted to play it now on the PS4, and also I wanted the PS5 case because it looks cool, and also it has the little signal or symbol on the front saying, oh, it has the remastered bundle with it. So I'm also a physical guy. I like buying physical games physically versus digitally. And I was planning to do a giveaway about Call of Duty and the remastered Miles Ultimate Edition to give to you guys for like a charity thing or just for a fun giveaway, because you guys deserve it for supporting me after all this time. And I thought it would have been fun. And then I check, and there's people like, oh, dude, you got scammed. Like, I know the price looks weird, but the website's official, trust me. So I see it, and then they send me these links, and I double check, like, oh my god, they're right. So I almost got scammed out of $500 to send to this scumbag in Minnesota. Luckily, the transaction did not fully go through, so I did not, I repeat, I did not lose any money, which is a huge sigh of relief, but I was very close to getting scammed because it's so hard to still acquire a PlayStation 5 nowadays, and these sites are getting more and more scarily convincing to try and steal your money. So it's bad. It's bad, it's scary. Luckily, I'm okay, everything's fine. I still don't have a PlayStation 5, but at least I'm not scammed, so that's great. Dylan Turner, what are your thoughts on the Black Panther teaser? I've already talked about them previously, but basically I think Christopher Judge is going to do a great job as Black Panther with his voice. The suit looks cool, but the roadmap is not reassuring that it's coming out summer or beyond, like not even a concrete date. Just, oh, what that tells me is it's ready when it's ready. And based on the structure and the overall, you know, format we have for this game right now, that's not the news I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear, we got Black Panther next month, or we got Captain Marvel a month after that. Not that we're still fixing stuff with the game, still adding quality of life adjustments. We're going to be doing that throughout the entirety of spring, and only by either late or, you know, early or late summer, we will then release Black Panther. Like, that is insane to me. And for a live service game, that's not good. That's not good at all. Hussein Shaw, how does it feel to play Hawkeye? Just like Kate Bishop, I don't really feel any excitement or joy when playing as him. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of archers as well, by the way. I mentioned that previously. I'm more of a ranged guy, which is why I like Black Widow more. As she's like my go-to character in this game, because she's ranged and personal, but she's more ranged and melee based, but she's more melee based than ranged. She has her pistols if she needs them, and it's easy because you can pull out a freaking submachine gun, just go buck wild by shooting everybody super fast with rapid fire. But she also has her batons, which go crazy fast if you upgrade her all the way, and she's really helpful in close quarters situations. So, same thing with Iron Man, although I hate his stupid, recharge meter that takes so long to do for his heroics, and his repulsors that need to charge every 10 seconds. So that's why I prefer Black Widow, because she has the grapple hook as well. She can travel places really quickly. She's fast-paced. She's strong. And I think also Laura Bailey does a great job voicing her. I was going to say something else, too. Oh, yeah. Hawkeye's story stuff so far, not engaging in the slightest. I really don't care at all about this whole future storyline with the Kree and Maestro. We haven't even seen Maestro yet, but still, it's just like, and I should not be. If anything, the Wakanda DLC has me more intrigued because finally we're outside of the main AIM stuff. At least, actually, no, it's not even that, because during the trailer, he's freaking. Well, we don't even hear T'Challa speak with the narration. We hear him speak at the end with Christopher Judge, but it's not even him narrating. It's Claw, who's talking to Monica Rappaccini, who's part of AIM. So it's still AIM in Wakanda, and I hate that. Like, can we please move on to something else? I beg of you. This AIM storyline is not engaging at all. I apologize, but goddamn. Let's see. Sharpshooter, increase the maximum tier for marked enemies. That could be helpful. What's this? Pulsar Arrow, Neutron Blast. Builds up even more energy after being fired. Wait until the indicator. Sure. We'll do that, but I haven't been using the arrows too much. Get some gear. Cosmetics. Nothing really different. Fine, I'll be in the iconic one. I've been the other one for too long, so if you guys want some variety, I'll give it to you. Let's see. Nathaniel Cruelly, Evan, who are your top 10 favorite superheroes? I'll get to that soon. Ghosty, Marvel's Avengers should have more year of development, so they shouldn't have to deal with this stuff of post-launch content. Yeah, they should have had it planned out since launch, and they botched it pretty hard. But that's what they get for trying to make this game a live service. And the only one losing here is Square Enix. Us as consumers, we're waiting for the content. We're waiting for Spider-Man 2. If you wasted money on this game by buying it and trying to get all the challenge cards and the cosmetics and stuff, I apologize, but that was your decision. And I just hope that it's actually worth the wait by the time we get to the point of Black Panther's launch. Let's see, I'm not surprised if I finish this DLC this quick. Is this the end? I actually don't know. But as you see, well, the time on the left side of the stream is a bit inaccurate since we took, like, I think a half an hour to start the game. Maybe actually a full hour. I forget, was it a half an hour or a full hour? We did a half an hour of kind of going over the, what do you call it? The Square Enix Presents presentation, and then we started playing. So right now I think I've been playing for like 2 hours. But if we're getting close to the end, that's insane. Alright, Maestro. And again, we already saw this in the presentation today, so why did they spoil this whole encounter? Like, it's so stupid.
Maestro Wing, I'm here for Fury.
I'm not the stupid brute you remember.
He's talking, boys.
I know.
Hulk not smash, Hulk speak.
Take away my power. You know why I'm still here.
God, he's massive. Abomination with a beard, that's who he is.
Longest there is.
You better appreciate this, Fury.
Dang, he got him right in the freaking face. Okay, great. Boss battle, boys. How much you want to bet we get him done in like 2 minutes? Also, Hulk is here, so how freaking tall is this guy? It makes no sense. It's literally, by the way, just Abomination with a beard. That's who this boss is. It's ridiculous. New villain, right? No. It's an Avenger who's now a foe. Like, if freaking, you know, what's his name? Ironmonger, if he showed up, that'd be interesting. But again, that'd be also kind of like, oh, it's a new villain. Like, well, he's newly introduced, yeah, but at the same time, it's just evil Iron Man. So, like, oh, if you go in and you fight, the super adaptoid, not the superior adapt, the super adaptoid is just the adaptoid with more stuff. Like, it's the new villain for the Kate Bishop DLC was the super adaptoid. Was it really, though? Was it, though? Like Thor and Thor Ragnarok. What is it, though? You sure? I don't think so. Makes no sense. Like, it's not a new villain. That's an old villain with a fresh coat of paint. Again, the same thing. You can't polish a turd. It's just, it's still a turd. So, oh, the super adaptoid is a different adaptoid. You say that, but I don't believe you. So, this Maestro is a completely new foe. No, it's Hulk, and literally fighting Hulk right next to him does not help their argument of like, oh, this is new. He literally just did the exact same move that Hulk did. If you guys just saw that. Let's see, I'm going to do my health arrow since I'm almost dead, or halfway dead, I suppose. Let's see, Pulsar arrow. Are we almost done with this DLC? I kind of feel bad to say this, but I hope we're almost done. I don't want to keep playing this. I want to either play Genshin and do the Windbloom Festival that's happening right now in Mondstadt, which is incredible, or go back to playing Persona 5 Strikers. And I should not be saying that for in a AAA Avengers game. Evan is the boss fight. Evan is going to beat this boss in a second. Yeah, insane. It's true. We're already, what, like 3/4 done? No, 3/4. 1/4 done? I almost said a half, but I'll just say a half. We're pretty much halfway done with this boss fight already. And again, what would be cool is if the boss fight had phases. You know, like Doc Ock, or Mr. Negative had phases. You fight Mr. Negative first, right? In the standard Martin Lee form, and then you fight him in his Mr. Negative form, and then you fight him with the super giant demon monster that's coming out behind him. There's different phases to the boss fight. Just like any good game with a boss fight, you know that if they're good if they're set in phases. Even again, I'll bring up again, another live service game, Genshin Impact. One of the bosses, if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about, Tartaglia, or Child, who is like this Fatui Harbinger, so he's like sick. You'll love to see it. Caught in 4K. Fantastic, great boss fight, guys. Excellent. But Tartaglia, what I was trying to say, Child, has different phases. He has his main phase, which he has water powers, pretty much. He can control the element of water. He just killed himself, pretty much. And then he evolves into a electric-based power set where he's still nimble and fast. And then he gets bigger and more intense with like a third phase where he has like armor on and he has like a dual-wielding scythe that has electric and water powers. It's insane. This was just Hulk, and we barraged him with air, and he's dead. He's already done. It's over. No. Jesus. And you just, oh, all the freaking, you know, heroes are dead. You want to explain how? Just they're gone now and that's it? I want to learn more about the backstory about these characters. What's Future Cap up to? What's Future Iron Man doing? And why are you shooting a gamma arrow at Hulk, you moron? What are you doing? Oh my god. Are they going to show it now? Wait a minute. Maybe I spoke too soon. I thought they were going to do a flashback. What is that? They show that all the time in the trailer, but...
Is it safe? Let's find out, shall we?
We see the future where the game is actually fixed. I would love to see that future. David Ramirez, the writers don't even know the backstory about these characters. Exactly. Hey, Insane, that boss fight was repetitive, not gonna lie. You bet your ass it was. Absolutely. But what I was trying to say is the child fight in Genshin Impact has so much more variety than this boss fight, or the Mr. Negative boss fight, the Dr. Octopus boss fight in Spider-Man PS4. These are just bigger enemies with more health. That fight was no different than the Abomination boss fight, or the is that Monica right there? Or the MODOK boss fight. I guess MODOK was the only exception. He had phases, which was cool, but they didn't really focus on them enough. Where you fight him as each individual Avenger, that's fun. I'd like to team up as them to fight him together as the Avengers team, but that was the only like one actual boss fight in the game was MODOK.
Project Omega.
That's the cube they showed in the roadmap.
Her world-saving weapon.
And this is future Monica, I think,
Containment unit.
and that's past Nick Fury.
Cube. So she failed.
It's like supposed to be like the Tesseract or something.
It just froze them in time while the world was destroyed around them.
Okay.
We failed. All of us. But listen. You don't have to make the mistakes that I did. Don't give up on the Avengers.
Oh, that's a very telling line right there.
What are you talking about?
This is young Hawkeye is us, old Hawkeye is Square Enix.
Get out.
That is incredible. That's a meme in itself.
You do it for me.
Don't give up on the Avengers. What are you talking about? That's actually the funniest thing I've actually seen today. That's incredible.
Now you better get back to your own time.
Notice how he's all old and ragged and he's been through hell and he's like, don't give up on me. The game in like 10 years. It's gonna be okay. And then young us not knowing what the content is. What are you talking about?
Tiring, Clint?
Because we have no clue what the hell they're doing.
Whatever I did in that timeline, I'm doing the opposite. Facial hair? Never.
Well, I don't like bald Hawkeye, so I'm gonna get you with that ultimate suit as soon as I can. Was that it? Hold on. Was that the whole thing? There's no way. I think that might have been it, boys. Dylan Turner, I would love if the Spider-Man DLC has Venom as the villain. Yes, I would love that too. Or what someone brought up, which oh god, where are we? Who is in between Hulk's cake right now? Hold on, those cheeks. Hulk has some massive cheeks. What is happening? Wow. Okay. Insane. What was I gonna say? Crap. Oh, Venom. Dylan, great point. If it's Venom, I would love that, but they may not because they're saving him for the sequel for Insomniac's game. But a villain that someone brought up, which actually makes perfect sense, which I despise the fact on how much this makes sense, is Alistair Smythe and the Spider Slayers. Because robots. Oh, and that's it. Oh, well, we did it. No, I think that's a perfect choice, is Alistair Smythe and the Spider Slayers. Endless amounts of robots to fight, because that's what people want, is more robots. That would make the most sense for Spider-Man's villain, because each character has a villain sector. So Kate Bishop's villain was the Super Adaptoid. Clint's villain was Maestro. Black Panther's villain's going to be Claw. And then Spider-Man, Venom will be cool. I think we can cancel out all the Insomniac villains, so no Sinister Six, no Doc Ock, no Martin Lee, no Electro, no Vulture, no Rhino, no Scorpion. I think Screwball. Hold on, wait a minute. Actually, let me think about that one. No. I think Alistair Smythe and the Spider Slayers is a really sensible option. And I think of the big boss, because it has to be a boss that the Avengers can fight, you know? So a giant robot would make just as much sense as it possibly could for anyone. Yeah, Ghosty, that was only 2 hours and a half. Yeah, actually, Ghosty, recheck that, because we spent the first half an hour in this menu talking about the roadmap and stuff. So really, over 2 hours of content. I feel like the Kate Bishop stuff was a bit longer. Maybe it might have just been me, maybe because I did some other stuff in the meantime, but it felt like Kate's stuff was longer. And that was it. So anyways, that was boring as hell. It was the same exact crap that we experienced with Kate Bishop. And none of it made me more hyped for the future of the game. None of it even mentioned Wakanda, by the way. Kate at least brought up Wakanda in like a conversation with Jarvis at the war table and her thing when she was talking about, oh, where are we going? Australia, Russia, Wakanda, and she brings that up like, oh, finally, the first ever mention of Wakanda in this game. Great. And supposedly Black Panther's the next hero supposedly coming to this game. So that's a bad sign, and that doesn't give me any sign of reassurance to the content that they're going to be putting in sooner. Soon is what they claim to be. George Carr, Spider-Man's villain should be Scorpion instead of JJ giving him powers. It's aimed to hunt Spider-Man. Well, that'd be cool. Kind of like the Spider-Man 2000 storyline, or just the Scorpion storyline in general. But again, it has to be a villain that the Avengers can face alongside of Spider-Man. So that's why you're not going to see, like... You know what? I almost said not him, but you know what? The Spot would be amazing. The Spot would be a really cool villain to fight in any game, either Avengers or Spider-Man. But, yeah. David Ramirez, I agree. The effort that was put into this game is very upsetting. Dang, bro, you still playing? Nah, Jerry, I just beat it. If you just tune in, thank you for tuning in, but I actually just beat the DLC, and it was a letdown, as I expected. The DLC was disappointing. Yes, it was. Hey, Insane Franco. Spider-Man's villain should be the Balloon Kid. Yes, dude. We're waiting for his redemption arc, or just his revenge, to come back and have the balloon fly in the sky and Peter get it. And then he has to fight the balloon itself. It comes to life. Oh, man. Yep, David, absolutely. The Spot is the most slept-on Spider-Man villain. Get him in the sequel of, you know, Marvel Spider-Man 2, or make him the main threat villain sector for Avengers. Anyways, guys, I've been streaming for almost 3 hours now. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Sorry that it wasn't sooner. I was trying to do this right after the presentation happened, but I was actually making lunch and stuff, so I had to take some time before I began this. But we did the entire Hawkeye DLC here. If you go back earlier in the stream, once this video will be up as a, you know, recorded stream, I did talk about my thoughts of the roadmap and Black Panther, and why you should not be excited for anything that they talked about today, and you should be more skeptical instead of hyped. If you are hyped, that's fine. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you're enjoying the game. If you did play the Hawkeye DLC, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts about it. If you actually spent the stream with your first Hawkeye experience by watching me play it, I thank you. But it was not worth your time. You don't have to spend any money because it is free. But if you're wondering, should I go back into Avengers to play this? My answer is still no. Instead, buy better games like Persona 5 Royal or Persona 5 Strikers, which do deserve your money, or play another game in a similar live service style, which is free to play, of Genshin Impact, which is incredible, has actual good story content and boss fights, and continuously added content that is not in this game. Let's see, any final questions before I end the stream, guys? I will maybe, possibly, I mean, we already talked about it for 3 hours here, but I might do a video itself, like a recorded video edited with maybe Persona 5 music or Beautiful Joe music in the background, which, by the way, I love Beautiful Joe, discussing the roadmap and the statements that Square Enix have made in certain interviews about the news from today. Dave Ramirez, great stream, everyone, always love watching. Have a great rest of your day. You too, and Franco, I saw you said the exact same thing. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I don't think I saw any, because I never am able to read any specific highlights in the stream chat on my phone, because I see it on the screen. But if anyone donated, I highly appreciate it. I don't think anyone did, though. That's fine. You watching and leaving a like and staying tuned with me and hanging out together, that means more to me than you could possibly know. So thank you. Let's see. Ghosty will not playing this game for 10 years and keep playing Spider-Man PS4 Miles Morales. Absolutely. Again, that whole Hawkeye, that is a meme. I gotta go back somehow. If we can replay these missions, if that's the update that they included for this game, I gotta go back to that scene. Don't give up on the Avengers. There's still hope for us. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, that is the best meme I've seen today. That is incredible. And I feel like the writers did that on purpose. That has to be intentional. Otherwise, I'd be shocked. Do I have any surprise videos for us in store? Franco brings up an amazing question, and the answer is yes, I do, but I can't talk about it. However, I would say if you're a fan of both, actually, Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, and you're a fan of some cast members, wink wink, who are part of that game's story, I highly recommend to stay tuned to next Wednesday or next Thursday for a very special interview between me and one of the individuals from the game. I'm very, very excited for it. I'm very honored that they actually have enough time in their schedule to do that and talk with me about the game. And yes, don't worry, it might be a bit of a stretch to see if I'm able to get anything out of them. But if I have the opportunity to ask about the sequel and the status of the game, I will. If not, just understand, of course, that it's not been officially confirmed yet. We all know it's happening, but Marvel Games and Insomniac and PlayStation have been tight-lipped about it because they're currently working on it, and they are obviously going to want to savor the moment when they reveal the game officially down the line. But I can at least ask them about their own experience working on the previous games of Spider-Man PS4 and Miles Morales, which would be very fun. And as a hint, this person appears in both games. So unlike, I can, say, like, for example, I'll do like a finite character, a minuscule character from the first game of, let's see, Yuri Watanabe, for example, who's played by Tara Platt. She's only in that game. She's not in Miles. So this person I'm about to interview is in both games. So that's a big hint. I can't say anything more than that. But I think you'll very much, hopefully, enjoy the interview once it arrives. I'm going to have a ton of fun doing it. And be sure to support it once it does go live. A like would be appreciated. Sharing it around would be great. Hearing more about the actors' take on their own portrayal of these characters is always a treat to hear, and I'll be sure to ask questions that you haven't heard in any other interviews up until now. But yeah, for example, this was a letdown. I should have probably spent my time instead watching the Snyder Cut or Genshin with their update, or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Probably should get a Disney Plus account by now. But yeah, as I said, by the way, mini sidebar, the content creators online were so hyping this thing up, the presentation of Square Enix, like, this is amazing. Oh, I had this amazing briefing with Square Enix who just showed me the best future of the game. So you mean a roadmap with no concrete dates, and this mission, which was already showcased during today's presentation, so we already got spoiled for it. And it's more of the same stuff we've already been seeing since launch, with no payoff to leading up to Black Panther whatsoever. So, not worth your time. Wait until the game is patched with Black Panther to then play the full experience, or at least a better experience, with extra content, more stuff, and a more packaged story. But I'm not impressed. I'm let down. I'm hoping things can get better for this game. But right now, I'm more in the sense of I'm waiting for the announcement of Spider-Man 2 or the Guardians game instead of when is the next Avengers update coming. Because this was not worth it, in my opinion. After half a year, certainly not worth it for that amount of time when this was supposed to be a back-to-back chapter inclusion with Kate and Clint. It didn't really feel all that meaningful to me personally. That's just not saying like, oh, I'm only a Spider-Man fan. No, as a fan of Marvel, I don't think this entirely was worth the wait. And it could have been done and handled a lot better, especially with its marketing. But anyways, guys, almost 3 hours. Hopefully you enjoyed. Again, go back to the beginning of the stream once the video is on the channel so you can see my earlier thoughts about the roadmap and Black Panther and the presentation that happened for today for Square Enix. And we did the entire main campaign of the DLC. I'm going to hop off, but later on I might join, just hop in, try and grind through Hawkeye to level him up a bit more. But we'll see what happens next. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to Franco again, Franco Greco, and Spidey Outcast, and Ethan Costello as well, and Ghosty for coming on the stream, and just all you guys in general for making time out of your day to hang out with me. It's been a blast. More content coming soon. As for Avengers, oh boy, yeah, hopefully things get better. But for right now, I'm not really banking on anything too much. But until next time, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like to the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and stay merry, Marvelites. Peace out.